So just been listening to some of your tunes there. So how have you feel your development has come? How do you feel like you've been sort of growing, so to speak?
Yeah, I think at the beginning I was struggling with, you know, you were saying earlier, trying to be someone else, yeah. Yes. And I was saying to you, these tunes are more me.
Yeah.
That's where I feel like I'm starting to stop. I'm starting to get out of my head and be like, where before I was like, I really want to be Breakage, or I want to be Threshold, or I really want to be like Four Hero, or I really want to do something that was like production house. Yeah, it's like fuck all of that. I just want to vibe with my own tunes.
He wasn't saying fuck all those artists, by the way. Like,
nah, fuck Breakage.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Excellent. Breakage, hear that? Do you know what he said? He said, fuck you. So, if you want to come on, James, anytime. No.
Have you got a line anyway?
That's what I'm going to put in the subtitle and the...
Fuck Breakage.
Yeah, No Nation says fuck Breakage.
That's the headline.
Just a headline. Oh yeah, you just give it a tagline, man. Just put it on the stories. No, man, but it's been great to see how things have developed for you and have grown for you, and particularly with you and Maggie, Sheba Q. It's like, you know, was it 4 years maybe? I met you? 4 years?
2020.
Oh fucking hell, Jesus!
Yeah, not
these years. 3 years almost. But yeah, okay. I feel like it's been longer than that, but maybe that's just. I feel like it's longer than that.
Yeah, I think with a lot of people, nah, maybe
it might be 19. You know?
It might have been but it would have been end of.
Yeah.
Because me and Margaret, we already started producing together. Yeah. We already started producing together end of 2019, isn't it?
Right. Okay. Yeah.
So when I sent you them tracks, it must have been. That's what I'm saying. It must have been 2020 when we first met up. If not right, I mean, it would have been like it would have been like around Christmas time, basically.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
If anything, you know, what I mean, that's the earliest that it would have been 2019 Christmas.
I can never remember. She's done too many drugs over the years. It's like people explain things to me, and I'm like, yeah, I remember. It's like they'll say, oh, do you remember we were sitting by the thing and we were chatting for hours, and you came to that party afterwards, and I'm like, yeah, no.
No, but when you're saying that you feel like you've known me for longer, I feel like with a lot of people, the scene, it was, I mean, that's why I've been so passionate about the music, because it's like, with a lot of people, been immediate vibes, you know what I mean?
Well, to be fair, the last 2 years as well, we have been mostly all indoors, not doing much, so the time did seem to slow down somewhat. So it's like,
then that as well.
There's people that I've met this year, and then they discovered that I met them in like May, and I'll be like, it feels like I've known you for like 3 years. Like, do you know what I mean? It's like I don't know if that's the effect of lockdown, or if it's just, I don't know, maybe I'm just getting older. I don't know what's happening, but or maybe my lifestyle changes have made time seem to slow down, because I don't have that sort of regular 9 to 5 anymore. I think when you have that regular 9 to 5, time sort of like flies, doesn't it, a bit? It's just Friday, you're living Monday to Friday. But like them tunes you were playing before, the one for Devon's Road is oh shit, was I allowed to say that?
Yeah, I mean, it's fine.
Sorry, you got to warn me.
It's cool. No,
but that one, well, we said it now. So shout out to Ree and to Junior Buzz for Devon's Road. Outstanding label.
Yeah, I like the bits there. They're honest. They're just nice people, you know.
Yeah, they're great people. Yeah,
but they're just nice people, fam. Like, so I want to support their
100%.
Their thing. Like, they wanted to support me. They're very nice, fam. Like, they're very nice. I like Kenny as well. When I first.
Where did you meet him?
I can't remember when I first met him. I think I met him first at Discworld.
Yeah.
But we connected. No, I met him first at Rupture.
Right.
But we connected properly because he played at this thing at Corsica. I can't remember what it's called. Foundations.
Oh right, yeah.
And that was a good night actually.
Yeah,
Ray Keith done a vinyl set.
Oh wow,
that was very good.
Okay.
And the thing I liked about it as well, was that at the beginning, like the first few mixes were a bit shaky.
Yes.
So it was like I liked that almost because it was like, okay, right, man's he's working. But he finished. But as it went through the set, it got better. Yes. And it was almost like you was watching it come back to him.
Absolutely.
Sort of thing, yeah.
I mean, look, there are like naturally gifted DJs, and I would never ever say in a million years I was one of them, and I'm not entirely sure if Ray would ever say he was.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
It was a good set though.
I bet it was, because he played a great set at Technicality, I remember. And you know, I just think that there's DJs that just love the music and just play from their hearts, and
I like that.
I feel that that's what Ray is. I mean, I hope I'm, you know, I'm not, you know, offending him if he ever hears this, but you know, I just you know, I think there's DJs that, you know, you got your Bookums, you know, that are just like laser tight, you know, Equinox in that same vein. I mean, Equinox is without doubt my favourite jungle DJ by quite some margin. You know, I would actually argue Dark Phoenix is probably up there, and for me anyway, in terms of like sort of like the newer crop of DJs. And I mean, I mentioned him before, but Fierce, weirdly, I just always really liked his vinyl sets. He always played incredible vinyl sets. Always very surprising, always really enjoyable. Brett Clever. He's someone, these are all like older guys, people probably won't know who these people are, but Brett Clever used to run a label and shop in New York called Breakbeat Science. And he come over to Technicality and absolutely smashed it. Absolutely smashed it. Because he was surprised, he didn't really play what we were considering that, you know, so-called Technicality sound. So it was like, you know, he just come and was playing like loads of Clute and TB and, you know what I mean? And like most people in the crowd, and some people in the crowd knew, but he just put it together really well. It's where the Song of the Cellar, I think that's where the first time I heard that tune, Song of the Cellar by Clute. He played that at To Rewind now, man. It's a big tune. It's just dark and simple. But like, it's just,
but Kenny, Foundations.
Sorry.
No, it's alright. I first connected with him because he's making tunes, Bomb Shelter Crew with his mate. I can't remember his mate's name. I was gassing him up. Gassing him up big time. You know how I'm at raves. I embarrass myself. You know? I mean, I don't get embarrassed, but I don't hold back. You know what I mean? I'm giving energy. So I was giving him energy, and a couple of tunes he played, I think they bang. So he's doing like the whole. He's doing like his tunes more hardcore.
It's got that hardcore feel to what they're doing.
I like that.
I went to a night down at Four Quarters in Peckham. It's great. I went to their night down there.
Their night?
Devon's Road, yeah.
Okay, I haven't been to one of them yet.
Yeah, I went down there. It was great because a lot of people in the crowd I knew, and it was just great to hear tunes that sounded older than the DJs that were playing them. Like, do you know what I mean? Because there was a guy, there was a young guy called Anti-Tracks. And so he was really good. And then I can't remember, there was another guy on before him, who I'm sorry, his name was he was slightly older, but he was cool. But there was a guy on before him, or I can't remember which way around it was, but there was like a younger guy that was playing. And I just remember thinking, like, the tunes he was making were obviously all his. I loved that. It was very raw. They were all very like, you know, untouched and, you know, just first idea kind of thing. But it was perfect for that room, for those set of people, for that night, and for that venue, and long shall it continue, I hope, because it's,
I feel like there's with them older tunes are starting to attract a younger crowd, innit? Like, I think you've been Distant Planet.
I went to a couple of events.
On the 26th, man.
What?
I'm playing on the 26th.
Oh, you're coming to that one, right? Okay, cool. You're playing
on the 26th. Come to that.
Yeah, so that's the same night as Clash Mouth.
When was the last time you went to Distant Planet?
Clash Mouth. Say again.
When was the last time you went to?
A long time ago. I went up to a pub thing a long time. So I got told off by Louise the other day because I said, "Oh yeah, you know, it'd be lovely to come play. We got to come down.
Yeah,
you got to come down."
They live around the corner, you know.
From where?
From here.
Oh, do they really?
They literally live around the corner.
I don't think they like me. No, I'm joking. I'm joking, Louise and Simon. I'm joking. I think. Honestly, I think that I can be for some people. I probably, you know, they like my exuberance and whatever. I always get the feeling they don't like my exuberance, but they're never rude or never disrespectful, and I have incredible amount of respect for them. And sometimes I probably overcompensate like when I see them, and I always feel like I'm making a fool of myself with them. It's very it's quite embarrassing.
I'll make a fool of myself every time I see them people.
It's hilarious though.
But they're nice people. Isn't
Yeah,
it?
I know.
Nice
That's what I'm saying.
They should come through because
It's my issue. Don't worry.
They are. Their crowd is like went to. It's one of the first raves I went to.
Yeah.
The first jungle raves I went to. Distant Planet.
Yeah.
Like Distant Planet, very special party to me.
Yeah.
Like, very, very, very special. Like in terms of like my development as a person in life. Yeah.
Right.
Fuck music.
Okay.
Just as a person in myself. Yeah. Distant Planet was a big part of my evolution. You know what I mean? And I went to their first party. First time I went to their party was like December 2019. And the thing that was at that time that was like not shocking for me, well yeah, I guess shocking for me, yeah, was that the crowd was a lot older.
Yeah.
Like I was like, I'm now 29, yeah. At that time I was 27, 26. And I felt like I was one of the youngest people in the crowd. Yeah, which was, I mean, doesn't sound ridiculous, you know?
Not at all.
But that was a shock for me because it was like raving.
Yeah, it was.
But it was like the crowd was much older, and I was like, wow, I've never seen this before, yeah.
I mean,
but now,
yes, sorry, please continue.
They're starting to attract a younger crowd.
Yes.
Like as in now when I go, I'm not the oldest, I'm not the youngest.
Brilliant.
I'm like, there's just there's such a mix of people. Like literally, there's 18-year-olds that go to Distant Planet now, as well as like 45, 50-year-olds.
It's brilliant. They attract across the board. But I think you find, I would argue you find a similar thing at Rupture and possibly at Launch as well, as events go. Because that's always surprised me at Rupture. Initially it was the older crowd, and then as years gone on, the younger crowd have come in. You know, you see more girls, you see more, you know, it's been brilliant.
Even at this work, fam.
Yeah, exactly.
When they do the in-stores, you see younger people coming through to that.
Absolutely, and it's so important. And it's like, you know, it's part of what, you know, I've been saying on this very channel, you know, like it's something that I want to try and work on in terms of reaching out to all aspects, you know, all sides of that younger crowd. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We don't want sort of we want as someone who I've started dating recently. Her friend. Is an Italian woman. I haven't met her yet, but I'll be told that she always talks about she likes tutti frutti, right? Like meaning, you know how Italians are. But anyway, let's not go on that. No, let's not get on that. Let's not do that. We did that off camera. We're not doing that again. No, let's not do that. But but I thought it was funny because what she's saying tutti frutti, you know, there's lots of colours, lots of different races. And and that's then ultimately that's what you want. Do you know what I mean? You know,
I think getting the younger when people talk about, there's been this conversation about diversity in raves. Yeah, the last 2-3 years has been like through lockdown was like very widespread. Yeah, and I think part of that is definitely getting. I mean, there's a young crowd within drum and bass that, in my head, I count drum and bass a separate scene almost to what I'm involved in. So
this question's almost come up in every cast so far.
Okay.
So would you consider jungle and drum and bass separate things?
Like, no.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
Musically.
It's not a trick question.
Musically, no.
Right.
Musically, no.
But culturally,
politically, socially, they're two scenes that have been split.
Yeah, that you know what?
Have been split. You know what I mean? And they've been split from early, and as it goes, I think as it's gone on, the split has become wider. You know what I mean? And now I think because that split is so entrenched culturally. Now musically they're really starting to separate.
You know what? That is probably the most intelligent take I've heard on that question.
Because I was talking to an MC, a hospitality MC, and he was because he sent me a tune to play on one of my shows, yeah. And then he was saying he was enjoying like the breaksy sort of jungle and that was coming out now, yeah.
Oh, so it's not who I think it is then?
I don't want to say his name.
No.
I shouldn't even say it was him, innit?
Yeah, no, it's fine. It's like
it's nothing bad, but I just don't want it. You know them ones. Like, I just
hold on. All right, this is the first time we're gonna do something on the cast. right, okay. Oh, wait, hold on.
No, that's
not. Oh, alright,
no.
so it's...
Nah, it's not even.
Oh, so then...
It's alright.
No.
Let's go.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah, so I was chatting to him. He's a nice guy,
Yeah.
I've known his brother for a long time as we went to the same primary school.
Yeah.
But, yeah, he was saying that he's really.
He's hospitality. Sorry, wait.
He's
hospitality MC now.
I think so. Yeah, he does a lot of stuff with them. I don't know if he's signed, but he does.
Okay.
He does a lot of stuff with them.
Oh.
But yeah, he was saying he was enjoying like.
Oh, he's a good lad.
The new breaksy sort of jungle that.
Oh,
was
is it really? Okay.
Yeah. And
good.
I was like, okay, cool. And then I was like talking to him about labels, Aco Beats, Western Law. These sounds he MCs for hospital, so I thought he's gonna know.
Yeah.
He didn't know none of that.
That's surprising because he knows my label.
Yeah. Okay.
I know him quite well. Well,
but you've been involved in that scene, though, innit?
Well, no, but it was
That's what I'm saying. The scenes are separate.
Kind of, but this is what was. Well, they are, but there's people that traverse, right? So, you know, like, and now I've had that whole thing where I've been this underground guy, and then I've gone and worked for them, and then you know, that put me in a certain position. And what happened, and then there was lots of conversations that happened as a result of what happened, right? Mm-hmm. And one of the conversations I had was with this individual.
Okay.
And so there was a question about his heritage.
Okay.
Which I don't know if he ever explained what his heritage is. So I won't say it because obviously that'll give away the identity of the person. But we had a bit of a cross words over it. And I really respected him for standing up for himself in the moment because I was being quite bullish about certain things, which I still agree with, but the way I was coming across probably wasn't the best. But I was pretty angry at the time, so you're gonna forgive me that. And we did have a difficult conversation, but it was very fruitful. And then we sort of had a friendship after that. But then I didn't really deal with things with him on a business level properly. Okay. So I think I'm probably in his bad books a bit. But hopefully I can remedy that in the near future.
Yeah.
But I get what was sorted got sorted. But it just you know it's one of those things where you had to wait for money basically. He said quietly, you know, unashamedly, but fuck it, you know, it is. And I've got to tell the truth, innit? Do you know what I mean? You know, I'm not, you know, I can't. That's one of the things about this is that I wanted to be truthful, you know. So yeah. So you've probably worked out who you are. So I do apologise for that. But yeah, sorry. So he said he was getting into it. But yeah, he
but that's what I'm saying. There's two separate scenes because he doesn't know. Yeah, he didn't know any of the labels. So
no. But
that's what I'm saying. Musically, like if you, like I like the history. That's one thing with rave music that drew me in, or jungle and hardcore and that was the history in it, you know, learning about the different labels and the political history of the time and all of that and what was going on with big labels coming in and all of that stuff. Like musically, if you understand all the context musically, it's not different,
right?
But it's gone separate ways because of politics, basically politics, isn't it? You know?
Yeah, it seems to have
drama and bass.
I mean, I think that, but in that, it's almost like, you know, there are different sort of worlds or universes almost in the scene, and you know, there's like people at the top of each individual. So like, you know, there's sort of like the Liquid world, you know, sort of like Let It Roll and all that sort of stuff, or Rampage or Liquidity. You know, you got that sort of styles. You know, you've got the jump up thing. You know, so in that world, there's the people, you know, next hypes and such like, and then you have got the underground thing, and obviously Rupture would be at the top of that. And I think you know, everyone has a place, and then there's some people that kind of can maybe traverse. I mean, that's why Bailey's a great example, because Bailey could probably play in any of those arenas very easily and absolutely have the crowd smash. You know, I can't think of many other DJs that could do that.
Loxy.
See, I don't know if Loxy would ever play in a jump up arena though.
Oh, true.
Because Bailey can.
Oh, I mean, he plays it, but he plays in 2 different arenas.
He plays like Loxy plays a lot of different places, definitely. But that's what I mean. And then Loxy couldn't play at Liquidity, and Bailey could.
Okay, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, it's not like Loxy ain't got a. I mean, I'm sure physically he could do it. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm sure he could put. I mean, he's a very gifted man. He could easily put a liquid set together. I don't think, but it's just whether he'd want to. Like, I don't know. I can't speak for him, but I don't feel like he'd want to. You know what I mean? You know, if someone said, "Oh, could you come play liquid set?" Actually, I think. I don't know. I might ask him. I might have to ask him. Like, you never know because you never know. You never know. Would he play a liquid set? Would Loxy play a liquid set? That's what I would know. That's answer in the comments. That's what I would know.
That would be interesting though.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose.
Maybe he just say no though. Maybe he just say I doubt it.
I feel like
it'd be challenged.
Yeah. I feel like that.
Maybe no one's ever asked him.
No one's ever. That's what I feel like. Yeah.
That's most probably, you know.
Yeah. Maybe someone should. You know, I think we'll get them both to come do a liquid set, Loxy Nick liquid set, or Loxy Nick jump up set. I mean, it'd be funny to hear like what, say, Equinox would put together.
For what?
So say like
you
gave him like 100 jump up tunes, and he had to.
And he had to put them together.
And he had to put them together, right? And if you could play an hour of jump up, he'd win. You'd get like 500 foul.
Yeah. I don't listen to no jump up.
I think there's Invicta Audio out of Bristol. I
don't know.
Anton Bailey.
Yeah.
I'll always shout about them left, right, and centre. For me, he's in his early 20s. He's very, very smart. He knows obviously what he's doing. He knows how to promote his label properly. And some of the music is fucking incredible. I mean, whatever you think about that particular genre, the stuff on that label, I would always recommend to anyone. Because it's so out there. It's so out there in terms of its garishness. It's almost not drum and bass anymore.
Okay.
It's really just some of it's screechy, some of it's more pumpy. You know what I mean? But some of the ideas are just so weird. It's just like you listen to some of the tunes, you're just like, what? That's a bass line to you? But that's the bass. No, but I don't mean that as an insult. I really don't mean that as an insult. I'm just like that. To me, it's incredible that these kids are just totally not looking at drum and bass in a normal way. And they're just going, we're just gonna do this. Like, and I'm like, please keep doing it. It's just I love it. I love it. I can't big them up enough. I'll always shout out.
Some people hate the jump up scene. Yeah. I hate some jump up.
Yeah.
I don't like. I mean, you're not gonna catch me going to one of them raves, really.
Okay.
But
you'd be curious.
But I mean, I would go and see.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if I want to go and be shacking out like you'd see me at Rupture.
I would love to do a documentary about jump up. I'd like to do a documentary because
I think it's a necessary scene, isn't it? People go in their vibes with it. It's like, fam, enjoy yourselves. You know them ones that I don't really care.
I might get cancelled by the underground community for this, but you know, every part of the drum and bass scene has validity, and you know, for people that we both know, Jump Up was the avenue in. Dexter, you know, Planet Wax, Jump Up, you know, Generation Dub. That's who and how he got involved in drum and bass, and now he runs different music, he's doing all this, you know what I mean? It's because he got in because of Jump Up. There's plenty of people that I know, it was their sort of like gateway drug.
Yeah, I know a lot of people like that as well. Like, either Jump Up or Liquid. Like,
Jump Up or Liquid.
For a lot of people, I feel like.
And then you go around, you know, get involved for a bit longer, and time goes on, and you might start listening to different things, and you know, that's how a number of people have come to find, like, say, Inperspective, or they'll find Future Retro, or you know, whatever it is. So I welcome it. I just think that I went to a Next Hype event. What's really interesting for me about the jump up scene is where in most other sides of drum and bass, the DJ takes precedent. And then the MC is kind of secondary.
Yeah, this is the MC's on the front.
It's flipped in jump up.
Yeah.
There was these two guys. I wish I could remember your names. I'm so sorry, but they were like two brothers.
Okay.
It wasn't Twin FX. It was these two sort of like they looked maybe Arabic or Turkish, maybe I'm not sure. And they like for a fucking hour, they went 8 bars, 8 bars, 8 bars, 8. They just did not fucking stop for an hour, and it was like for some people that's hell.
Yeah.
Of some people that's heaven, and I was but I was just amazed by like it's just the energy. They didn't stop dancing. They had everyone just right there. I think they were with Logan D, maybe. I think they were playing with.
Okay.
And I didn't know their names, but they were amazing, absolutely incredible. And it was just and I'm the guy that runs Inperspective. Like I don't discredit any other. I used to, but it just was to my detriment because I think that every aspect of any type of drum and bass can help another aspect of it.
Yeah.
So I think it's beneficial for a choppage guy. So I was there at that company telling their artists to come and listen to choppage. And some of them did, and some of them benefited from it.
Yeah.
You know, the others that didn't want to, whatever, up to them. And the same way when I said to certain man over this side, maybe you should check out this tune.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh shit, you know what I mean? So, you know, I remember a conversation I had with Dub One. Like, I said, you should check out King of the Rollers.
Yeah.
I was like, if you can't hear a tune in there that you don't like, fair enough. But I think you'll like this one or whatever. And you know, to my knowledge, I think you did. I do remember. Maybe I might be lying, Ollie. I might be lying. Well, before I finish that sentence, I won't say it. But I feel as though there was another conversation where he said, "No, actually, this, that, and the other is not so bad." So, but I feel like that might be someone else. So it might not be you, Ollie. Sorry, apologies. I feel like it might be someone else. I remember the first part of the conversation with Ollie, but I don't remember the second part. But I remember the second part with someone else. But anyway.
Okay.
But yeah, I just think there's value to listening to all of it. You know, as I've always said to you. Really.
Yeah, no, I think they're all necessary. I think in their history, they all come from a similar place, and it's just different interpretations as time has gone in it. And I think people are like more, and justifiably, I think, sore and angry at the history and the way that history has preferred certain subgenres over others. Yeah. And history has been kinder to certain subgenres than others. Yeah. But then that history makes up what that music has now become anyway. Like, you know what I mean? Like, Rupture wouldn't be a Rupture if it wasn't underground. You know what I mean? Like,
100%.
Distant Planet wouldn't be Distant Planet if it wasn't underground old school. You know what 100%. I mean? Like, and that history does matter. But I could see why people would be, especially early ravers, would be like cut up by the existence of certain genres, because they'd feel like that existence, that what they represent is the end of something that I really loved. You know what I mean? Yeah.
I think there was a feeling of death at one point, maybe about 1999, 98, 99, like that certain sounds were starting to come away from drum and bass. The problem for me, it was a tricky one. This is my take on it, right? This is how I felt it was, because everyone's going to have a different opinion on what this was. But I think the tech step thing, it came in and was so dominant, right? It was just like we went from sort of organic sounding stuff, sort of like, to like harsh, tough breaks and industrial noises and stuff. And listen, don't get me wrong, man. No U-turn, Nico, like bow down all day, like, because I mean, mainly because they just came in and just wiped, kind of wiped everyone away. Like, do you know what I mean? For a period, certainly, and then everything kind of changed after that. You know, meanwhile, over, you know, North London, there was those particular individuals sort of putting jazz funk to drum and bass beats, and then putting songs to those jazz funk drum and bass beats, and then some of those songs were getting licensed to huge record companies in other countries, and they were getting huge payments. And then the rest of the drum and bass scene, they're all not fighting per se, but you know, they're scrapping over crumbs and shit. And that's why you've got the situation that you have now, where this particular entity is literally bigger than the rest of drum and bass put together. Because everyone says they're the biggest drum and bass label. It's like, no, they just are. Like, it's just a fact. They're literally bigger than the whole of the rest. They're one of the largest independents in the country. So, you know, it's because of...
Wait, who's that?
Well, my former employers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, but that was... It wasn't because there was a preference. It was because, in my opinion, it was because their business acumen was solid.
Yeah, I mean, that's part. You can definitely say that's part of it. But then
It's a big
I
part.
think within that, that issue doesn't just. That's not just one within music, innit? That's within life and law in general. That even
That's
our
my
law
point.
favors people with a certain history.
Yeah.
That's what I think, and music mirrors that.
Possibly,
You know
but
what I mean?
this isn't a matter of law. This is a matter of just purely understanding what a particular audience may want.
Yeah.
So
yeah, but when I say law now, this is what I'm saying, because when people talk, like what conversations I've heard, with people have been, they bring a lot of it down to like Criminal Justice Act 94, when clubs were starting to change, the attitudes towards like what was at the time considered like, I don't know, gangster music. Like you see that same story happens with grime, with drill, it's happening the same thing. You know what I mean? And it's like that's when I'm talking about preference.
Yeah.
That's what I mean.
Yeah, Form 696, for example, is an example of that. But then you've got a situation now where majors are signing drill artists who they know are going to probably end up in jail.
Yeah.
And it's like...
Yeah, I think the rules are changing.
What are they? I know, but they're perpetuating... they're perpetuating certain ideals. And it's like, that's the stuff that, you know, I feel is where there's sort of like... well, that's there's a problem for me.
What do you mean? As in the music?
Yeah, as in the music industry in general. I mean, look,
but who's the problem with that?
Well, it's partly the lack of business acumen on one side of the industry, you know, in sort of more underground side, and I'm as guilty as anyone else of that. But with the incredible abundance of business acumen on other sides of the, and I think it's really as simple as that. Like the race element comes in. Where from a certain perspective, if you like, and I'm tap dancing around laser beams here, you know, that what this successful business does is the pinnacle of what drum and bass is. So if they decide to project a certain thing, then this huge audience only sees that thing, and the rest of it isn't seen as good or isn't seen as having as much value. So
that's the issue with like, that's what you're talking about. I feel like it reminds me of like it's like the issue with monopolies, isn't it? The bigger the company gets, the easier it is for you to make money. You can dominate,
and then you
the
can start dominating. You can start swallowing everyone up.
So if you have a free market, it's not balanced like that. The bigger companies will always.
Well, they start swallowing.
They can, you know what I mean? They can create. They create trends. When you can create a trend, then you've dominated the market, innit? Because you're telling people what they should buy, and then you're making it. You know what I mean?
Have you ever seen these mortar engines? Is it mortar engines? About these like cities that have become like these moving kind of tank things, and they're roaming around Europe. What? It's like, it's a film, it's a movie.
Oh, just about to say, what are you talking about?
Sorry, it's a movie. Yeah, it's got what's it, Emily Blunt in it, and like, you know what I mean? It's
I might have heard about that.
Yeah, I think it's these mortar engines. I think it's called. Yeah, it was kind of about 4 or 5 years ago, and basically. You got like cities are now these huge kind of like sort of huge like tanks. And they go round in like, and everyone lives on this big fuck off tank, like thousands of people, right? Big massive thing. And London is the biggest city. And what London goes around doing is like they got a drawbridge at the bottom. They hook they'll hook like fucking Cologne. Do you know what I mean? Or they'll hook like Denmark. or not to Devon as a country. You know, I mean, city. So sorry, Copenhagen, or whoever the fuck it is, and they'll drag them in on this big rope, and then they'll get all the people off and make them slaves and make them work for you know, because there's no choice, there's nowhere else to go, right? There's nowhere else to go. The only place you're going to end up is in the belly of fucking this beast. So it's a bit like that.
I think like those bigger labels, they attract younger, like you said, a lot of that music, I feel like for a lot of people for a lot of people in our scene, I know that music was like the gateway drug for them. Yeah. And that's necessary that's almost, you can argue that that's, our scene almost necessitates that scene. Like, I mean, I didn't enter like that. That's why I don't really fuck with that music at all, because, can I swear?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I don't really fuck with that music at all because it's that was not my gateway.
Yeah.
You know, my gateway drug was Distant Planet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I was like straight in from there.
Absolutely.
You get me? So
mine was Laserdrome. So I went to Innocence. So Laserdrome was a venue in Peckham, and a woman called Sonia used to run this weekly event. And it's like where I got to see Randall for the first time and 91 Trace.
Yeah.
Fucking.
What year was it?
So this would have been like, right, 76, 86, 10, 16. So, 91, I was 15. Yeah, wait, 18, yeah, so 91, 92.
91, 92.
Yeah, so I was about 15, 16.
Yeah, no, that makes me so jealous, innit?
Yeah, it was crazy. So no, maybe 93 actually, because it was probably about 17 when I started really sneaking out of the house to go to clubs. So 16 I was starting to sneak out of the house, and then 17 is when I first sneaked out. I want to call him out. David Ramsey, Wayne Gordon. Shout out to you, Dave Ramsey, Wayne Gordon, Quentin Silvera. His names. And they were the guys. Sneak out, go down to Peckham, walk down to Peckham, going to the dance, going to rave. It's where I had my first pill, it's where the first speed, and then just like, you know, I had Dr. Gachet. Yeah, I just remember so many sort of incredible memories, and then a lot of nights I just don't remember at all because of the drugs. Yeah. But like, it's just, there's no two ways about it.
Well, you had the experience.
Yeah, I mean, that wasn't the takeaway for me. The takeaway was the music. It was like, it was once that stopped, and then I think when I first went to Speed. By the time I met Marlon Equinox the first time, I think he was going, or he knew about it, and so I sort of used to go with him, and a couple of, you know, his uncle and another pal of his, Stanley, and the four of us just drive up there, go up Speed, just rock out to the Eamon, and just, you know, that was my gateway. Like, because even though I love Laserdrome, that was sort of about the drugs and the sort of like the scene. Yeah. But then Speed was like, the music. Oh, I didn't need any pills for this. It's the music, you know what I mean? It's, you know, first got to hear about Wax Doctor and about Photech and that sort of direct, and all these people was like, oh, it's two skinny white boys over there. It's like they're the ones that made that tune. It's like, what? They're two of that side, I mean, some of the conversation I had with Marlon about artists, and you know, when we were in the root dance, you see Pesce, you see Nookie, see Booker come down, Fabio was there, you know, like DJ Trace would be there, fucking just, it was like the creme de la creme for me, like, you know.
Yeah, but that's what I think. As much as I say that those other styles of music jump up in there, as much as I say that, there's necessity for them. Like, I don't resent the fact that they exist. I do resent some of the history. I'm sure everyone has reasons to resent some of the history. It
is what it is now.
I mean, it is what it is. There are problems to fix, you know, them ones.
100%.
But
they're getting fixed, I think, a little bit.
Slowly you get it.
I think people are getting a bit excited.
Slowly.
Yeah.
But our emphasis on the slowly. Like, it is happening slowly. Like,
I think it's happening at different speeds for different groups.
But with that music, I would say that the underground jungle, that Rupture, Inperspective, Distant Planet, Western Law is more sophisticated. Like, for me, that's a fact. You know, them ones that people can disagree with me, but like, that's why I think those are gateway drugs. Yeah. And then you graduate.
Yeah.
To
but sophistication is, you know.
I mean, you can't. there's no way to prove that.
No.
It's my opinion.
It's your opinion. No,
and
no,
I believe
that's
my
fine.
opinion is a fact in that case.
No, I'm not.
That's what I think. That's what I think.
No, that's fine. I wasn't really going to disagree with you.
Musically, no. But I mean, I can't say that's a fact really. But if it is a fact,
I mean, it is. I mean, in its nature, it is certainly simpler music. Like, you know, because a lot of it is sort of like two-step beat or sort of like stepper beat. You know, there's not like, you know, loads of syncopated breaks and chops and changes and stuff. So in that sense, yeah, you could argue that the underground stuff is probably the most complicated out of nearly all the genres, really. So that I would certainly say, because I know what I've put out over the years, and I know what it does to certain dance floors where they just everyone's staring at you. Do you know what I mean? Like, you know, Profane's a prime example. You know what I mean? Like, you know, it's just, you know, I love how his tunes, almost like how some comedians enjoy bombing, I like how his tunes stop crowds dancing. It's just like, it just makes me, I just like playing his tunes just because because people, but they don't leave. They never leave.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's one of the best producers today, to be honest.
He's incredible.
He's one of my favourites, definitely.
Yeah, I wish people knew about him. I'm so excited to get his album out next year. So that would be good. That would be great.
There's one bit on that album that I'm in love with, to be honest.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, there's a lot on the album. That's great, and it will be coming, mate. I will get it sorted. Don't worry, it's coming very, very soon. So what's next? What's going on with you?
What
in the future? What do you want to do?
What do I want to do? I need to get this album out.
Right, okay.
That's one thing.
Yeah.
That's one thing we can talk about. I've got releases planned that we spoke about.
Well, who can you talk about on camera?
I ain't signed no contracts yet. So
okay.
No one really. I don't want to put contracts. But yeah, I've got releases that I'm excited for. That I'm really excited for.
Good.
And
is the album for anyone in particular? Or?
The album was for Rupture, innit? But
right. So you still?
But I've pulled it now.
So right.
I've pulled it.
So what happened there? What happened with Lobster?
I mean, the drama's not all finished. So I don't want to get into the current situation with it.
Okay.
But yeah, obviously the allegations come out against Asquith,
Yeah.
So then obviously I see.
Is it multiple allegation?
I don't. What has been made public, I don't know if it's multiple, but I've heard a lot of things from a lot of different people.
Right. Okay.
And so when the public allegation came out, I mean, before that point, I've heard weird things, strange things that were like maybe red flags at the time. And if you don't know full stories, then you don't know full stories, innit? When it comes to something this deep, yeah.
Right. Okay.
But
all right. So there's a news item here from October the 3rd, 2022. So.
Yeah, so this is when I'm finding out these times.
Right.
Yeah.
So I can, it's a matter of public record, so I can read this, which should be fine. Lobster Theremin boss Asquith, real name Jimmy Asquith, has been accused of sexual assault, grooming, and coercion by a former employee. Speaking out about the alleged account of sexual assault, Glasgow-based DJ Inez posted a public statement on Friday, September the 30th, detailing past experience with the label head whom she formerly worked alongside. Along with Inez, real name Shona, the pair first met while playing a party together last year, and Asquith soon convinced the Glasgow-based DJ to move to London, where they became friends. Shona later worked under the Lobster Themin label 1 day a week.
Yeah, so when the allegations come out, I mean, I'd heard whisperings about him.
Wait. Before you say that, hold on. Since her allegation, others working in the industry have come forward to share their experience with Asquith. Berlin-based DJ Amy Dabbs alleged the label owner coerced her into letting him stay in her home last year. Asquith then intimidated me in my own home so much that I had a panic attack in my bathroom. Sorry, I'm not laughing. It's just what she said. And subsequently tried to press gang me into letting him stay again a few weeks later. And when I said no, I was gaslighted as if I screwed up his plans. She said in a public statement yesterday. And then co-founder of Australian club Canberra House Social, Mitch Lamb,
them ones as well.
Also spoke out about the DJ whom he booked for a party in 2019. He added the worst experience any of us can recall when dealing with a touring artist. Oh wow. Oh, he got incredibly intoxicated during his set, acting inappropriately with several of our female crew members, and even kissed a partner, even though we understood he had a partner at the time. He posted on Twitter. Wow. Coco
Yeah,
Bryce
so obviously
is
all
in
of
the
that,
statement as
all
well.
of that come out. Yeah, Coco Bryce was vocal.
DJ
about it.
Seinfeld, Mr. Mitch have all come out.
I just heard a lot about it from people that I trusted, and then obviously I'm not trying to put my grandma's on the album, fam. Do you know that?
Yeah, no, you can't have that.
I'm not trying to do that.
But okay, he's given a quick response and then we're going to end with this. But then we'll go back to you. I'm going to start by strongly refuting the allegations. This is from Asquith. Yeah, this is from Jimmy. I'm going to start by strongly refuting the allegations of sexual assault that have been made against me this weekend. He posted a lot of Ceremony pages. The DJ alleged that the pair had been having drinks at the bar, having a good time and being a bit over the top. He went on to add that there was mild flirting, rude chat and occasional friendly contact. When we arrived, I checked up on my cat and went to bed with nothing further occurring. Chris alleged. Full statement below. So yeah, it's all on the
and then there's so many
website.
other ones that he hasn't
That's what Mixmag
addressed.
Yeah.
As well, so it was like,
yeah.
I mean, I'm not.
But
I'm not
she's
kinda
taken into
connected.
court. She's made a formal allegation, hasn't she? So that's why that's the only one
Yeah, I'm
that
not,
he has to answer to. His lawyers would have probably advised him that.
Yeah,
But anyway,
no,
that's just
I don't know how all of that works.
Yeah.
I just didn't like it. I just didn't. Obviously,
No.
I was upset about it, to be honest, as well, fam, because it was a big what I saw. I mean, at the time, I was looking at that like, wow, that's a big opportunity. You get me? And it was a whole album. I was like, I've not been in the scene for very long, and I was very angry about it, to be honest, because I thought the thing that I was most angry about, like, I can't center myself in this. At the end of the day, yeah, my life was never in danger. My space, my boundaries were never in danger. Yeah, or at least my physical boundaries were never in danger. You know what I mean? No one's threatening my physical space. Yeah,
No, it's a integral thing.
but the thing that made me most angry about that situation was that, okay, so bro, my man has been taking artists' music, yeah, which is like we're putting ourselves into this music. It's like it's not easy work to make a track, let alone to send it to people for someone to listen. Yeah, it's very exposing, them ones, and I'm sending that to you, and then you've used the clout from our music, so go and do this fuckery. It's like I don't.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that's deep. Like, if you
Yeah.
think about it on that level, that's pretty deep, fam. Like, don't take my music and then use this clout to go and be violating people like that. You know what I mean? Like, I don't like it. So, but yeah, I mean, beyond that, I was really upset about it, to be honest, because, like, and again, I'm centering myself in it.
Well, yeah, of course.
But obviously, within my own feelings, I was like, bro, that was such a big opportunity and that's just gone.
Yeah.
But
well, there's other labels. I mean, what?
Yeah,
so you just got the album.
It was just a big
there.
hit, them ones.
Yeah.
Like, at the time, I was that cut deep from. I was like, right, okay.
But you got you got the album now. It's just there, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So I need to. But I've got other music coming out on other labels.
Right.
I've got other things I'm excited for. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, opportunities are still happening.
Got ya.
I don't need them.
No. But
You know
there's
what I mean?
other.
Like, there's other opportunities, and there's other things that are actually happening.
Yeah.
So they're not even just perspective things.
Yeah.
There's other things I'm excited about happening, so I'm excited for that. But you asked, what do I want to do?
Yeah.
Eventually, my long-term goal is I want to get into film music, fam.
Right. Okay.
I want to get into film music, and I haven't actually done.
Actually,
it
you have
yet.
said this to me before.
I actually haven't done any yet, but so it's odd that I'm saying that, having not even done any, have any experience in it. But that was like my gateway drug, yeah.
Yeah.
For music in general, yeah.
I agree.
Was film music
Or TV
and neo
adverts,
soul.
Yeah.
That's why my music, it sounds the way. If you listen to my music, that's why it sounds the way it does. I feel like it's very cinematic and very soulful.
Yes, it is.
So that's my. I'm going in that direction.
Yeah.
Basically, I want to take it. I want to do like film one day in it. Basically, that's my long-term goal. Beyond that, like, yeah, I'd love to be able to like DJ in sick places and travel, and them ones like travel and all of that, like all the other things that come with being a DJ in a rave scene right now. Obviously, I'm trying to make a name for myself. You know what I mean? But I do it properly. You know what I mean? With the right principles. I think is important for me.
So, what about your relationship with Sheba Q? How did that come about?
We went to uni. We went to Queen Mary these times I don't think either of us was listening to drum and bass.
Where's that?
Mile End.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah. And we met there. We didn't used to hang out loads. We see each other nights out, and I went to her house to a few board game nights and stuff. But we didn't. I never used to jam with her like every day or nothing like that. Yeah, we was like.
Love a board game.
And then after we left uni, I think we kind of went our separate ways. Like, you know, as in life, that's just what happens.
Yeah.
And then we reconnected a couple, maybe 6 years ago now. And then in that time, she started banging drum and bass. In these times, I didn't understand. She's playing records at her yard, and I'm like, this is too fast for me. Like, and I think them times she was listening to more drum and bass rather than jungle as well. And then one day she asked me to come to this. I think you was on the lineup that day. Jungle Jam, 2019.
Yeah.
And she asked me to come to that. That blew my mind.
That was a hospital, right?
No.
Jungle Jam. Oh, in Brixton. No, in
That was in the Cause.
Oh, yes.
That was a thing as well.
Yes.
This is what was funny for me going to that. Yeah, was that because at the time I was living in Walthamstow. I spent almost my whole life in Walthamstow, between Walthamstow and Barking. Yeah, I didn't know there was a rave scene in Tottenham. And it was like quite recent, but there was things like really sick events happening around the corner for me. I never knew. I wasn't completely. That was one thing that was quite interesting for me coming into rave music, was just like how unaware of everything I was.
Yeah.
So do you know when people talk about black people are not into rave, it's because some black people do not know it exists.
Yeah.
Like, I had no impression. I didn't know what hardcore was. I didn't really know what jungle was. Like all of these labels, I didn't know the cause was. I didn't know what a rave scene was. I didn't know that there was a garage scene still happening. I didn't know none of these things. Like, you know what I mean? Maybe I was just an ignorant non-music person. But these times I was DJing though.
No, but
that's the thing. I was playing hip hop R&B. I was actually DJing parties, but I didn't know what it was. I didn't know nothing about rave.
I want to solve. How do you get black people back into jungle? Because it's all good and well talking about getting, DJs and on lineups and stuff. Yeah. But it's about how do we encourage.
I think one of the biggest things is lineups. I think is a big thing.
No, it's important.
But you need to support young black people on lineups. Like, I'm not saying that because that benefits me. I mean, it does benefit me.
Yeah.
But
young.
But when I say that,
30,
go fuck yourself. No, because this is why I say because I'm quite vocal online about this diversity issue.
Yeah.
And I have a lot of promoters that come to me and they're like, we tried to, like, a lot of white promoters come to me and we tried to make our lineup diverse. Obviously, it's like really important to me. I watch a lot of what you say online. I agree with it. I'm ready to tell all of this and that. Yeah. And they're like, but I tried to book Double O, I tried to book Digital, I tried to book Equinox, and there's just too much money and this and that. And I'm like, okay, I'm like, cool. Yeah, exactly. I'm just like, okay, cool. I get that you was trying to, but why is it that a black person has to be the most excellent before you book them? You know what I mean? Because there's loads of black people that you could have booked, but you didn't want to support, maybe because you don't know them. But that's another issue in itself, is that why don't you know these people? You know what I mean? And it's like, yeah, okay, the black people you looked at booking, the really excellent ones, they're expensive. Okay, cool. Your whole lineup ain't excellent. You've also got friends on your lineup that I know they ain't ticket sellers, but you extended them the favour because they're your friend. And really, essentially, comes down to the fact that there's a lot of white promoters that just don't have black friends to do favours for. Yeah. You know?
Yeah.
And if they're going to do people favours, it's going to be to white friends. And that's why I think lineups are really imbalanced in that way. The reason why I mention like young producers, because I feel like if you bring if you're bringing younger faces, younger black faces, I think they're gonna destroy a younger black crowd, innit? You know what I mean? Like they're gonna bring their friends. Like when I've been to parties, like I've played at parties where some of my friends, they would never have gone. You know what I mean? I played one at Dawson Superstore.
Right. Yeah. I remember
last month.
Yeah.
And some of my friends came. They've never been to Superstore before. and they wouldn't have gone had I not played.
Right.
But they enjoyed themselves. They might even go again. Who
Right.
knows? You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
and but my point is, the more that happens, the more that you support people outside of that, the more you should, like, one of my friends said to me the other day, you got to change the house band.
Right.
Yeah. The more people you let into the house band, you know what I mean, the bigger crowd that you're gonna absorb, innit? You know what I mean? And I think that's a big thing when it comes to lineups. I think that's a big thing. I think people think about it too basic. Like, yeah, okay, if you book digital, your lineup is more balanced.
Very much so.
I'm not. Like, that's a fact. Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to pay.
But most of digital's fans grew up in a white scene.
Okay.
You know what I mean? As in, like, most of digital's fans are going to be white people. So he's going to be selling tickets, but they're going to be mostly.
But I think most of the drum and bass fans are white people now.
Exactly, but this is what I'm saying.
Yeah,
this is why I think you need to support a new crop of people. Like, there always has to be more people. There always has to be new people. You have to support black people on the come up. Don't just support black people that have been there for so long.
Yeah.
Because these black people have been there, and it's not. I'm not blaming them. Like,
there's no blame.
You know what I mean? Like, and I don't think it's a bad thing to book those people. I think it's a good thing because it's still. For me, it's like for a person like me, it's good to see digital in a place where he is, because I'm like, okay, there's a black man that has done so much and he's such a revered guy. Like, that could possibly be me one day. You know what I mean? And I could look forward to that. But if you want to diversify your crowd, I think you need to support the younger black generation. You know what I mean? I think that's important.
Because then, so you don't think, because the younger. So essentially, what you're saying is younger black generation are less likely to come and see like an older black DJ. Is that? I feel like that's what.
Yeah. I feel like.
Yeah, you're probably true.
Especially because nothing against them older black DJs, but you've grown, like, not you grew up. I mean, you grew up in a scene where it was these issues were. I mean, people speak about it. That didn't exist yet. Didn't exist yet. I don't know. Yeah.
No, it's always sort of been there, but it's not.
But more prominent now. Yeah. But for the most part, most of your careers have been through a time like where the rave scene's not particularly diverse, innit? Right. Because when I started going to raves, but a lot of people say that raves are really diverse. Rupture's really diverse. This Planet's really diverse, and they are in the rave scene. But me coming from parties that I was playing before, when I come to even Rupture and Distant Planet and raves that are considered like diverse, I mean, they're not that diverse, like, in comparison to certain things that I had been. You know what I mean? Going to, but it's a different scene. You know what I mean? You can't really compare, like.
No, it's definitely apples and oranges. Like, you know, in terms of sort of like the more commercial side of things, and you know, whichever side you talk about, really. Yeah.
Like, I'm just saying that I know for certainty that it's an issue because I'm new to the scene. When I first came to raves, I was like, this is. Like I ain't been to parties like this before. You know what I mean? For not just the musics, just not just because of the music, because of the crowd as well. You know what I mean? And I definitely noticed it. But that's what. It's a difficult. It's a difficult problem. Like, how do you diversify your crowd? It's a deep one, man. It's a deep one.
Well, but it's like, I almost feel like it's just like we have to sort of bring it to, like, be evangelistical about it and sort of like invite people down and sort of like.
That's how I am.
Reach out to charity.
That's my thing. Like, we did a free party a couple of years ago in Hackney Wick. So one thing that I did to diversify the crowd was I messaged black girls on Instagram.
Okay.
And I told them, like, I know this is not your usual bag.
Yeah.
You don't usually come to things like this, but trust me, like, if you be open-minded, like, you might enjoy, you might catch vibes, it'll be very different to what you usually go to, and I know why you'd usually never consider going to something like this for a lot of reasons, a lot of bullshit you have to deal with, but don't worry, I'm making it comfortable for you. That's why I'm inviting you specifically. Then the crowd was like more diverse, you know what I mean? And there was the black girls that I shouted, because the reason why I say black girls is because I feel like in a rave, that's the person you're least likely to see,
yeah.
And they came, and a lot of them enjoyed, you know them ones. So it was like, there needs to be that reach out in it, you know what I mean? And like you're saying, evangelizing.
I think that's selling place, because I think there comes a point we've got to stop banging on that door, because they're just not, you know.
100%.
There's no plans for them to open it anytime soon. So. is like, you know, it's always been around, it's always kind of prevalent, but I guess for me now it's about, you know, education and sort of knowledge building, you know, like, and trying to, I don't want to say build bridges, because I really don't want to build bridges, I want to build forts. But I like, that's what I want to do. But it's, I mean, okay, probably risky to bring him up in a podcast really right now, but Kanye.
So go on.
Okay, so like Dave Chappelle, I renounce any form of anti-Semitism and in all its forms, and I support my friends in the Jewish community. Right. So to make sure that I've said that. That's stealing from Dave Chappelle. All I'm going to say about Kanye is what Kanye should have been talking about. Some people may or may not understand the main point that Kanye was making, which was about ownership and about who runs labels, basically, right? And that's where that particular group of people got brought into the conversation, because it seems as though that's the situation where many of them are owned by that particular group of people. However, what he was talking about was the negative sides of that particular relationship between blacks and Jews, right? But what he should have talked about and what he should have been putting his money into and fucking trying to get mobilised about is, how do we get more black ownership?
Yeah, that's another side.
That's the other side of the conversation that he should have been talking about. But he went down this road, and he is, you know, he loses 1.1 billion, you know, in a day or whatever it was. You know,
ownership is another issue.
Yeah,
I think I was talking to Moop about this.
Yeah,
I did an interview with him. He said that it was a bit weird. Yeah, he said that he had a dream.
Right.
Yeah, that it was like 20 years in the future.
Right.
And he had a dream about, he was doing an interview with someone in this dream. He's still famous 20 years in the future. Yeah.
Kanye.
It could have, no, Tim Reaper.
Oh, yeah.
It could be aspirational. Yeah, I love that about him. You know? And he said to me that basically he was having an interview, and the interview was about the scene that he was in. Was it? I might be misquoting him. It's on my interview with him, but he said something about, basically the interview was asking him about the scene he's involved with and it collapsing, or basically him becoming irrelevant or whatever. Yeah, maybe he's something that he might be anxious about. Yeah, I mean, if you know the history of jungle, then that is something kind of to be anxious about a little bit. Yeah.
What, whether it will exist?
Yeah, your scene. No. But your part of your scene.
There are many people that I know that didn't think drum and bass would be here now.
Yeah, no, I hear that. No, it's still here, but there's a lot of people that were made irrelevant by different changes. You know what I mean?
But that happens in everything.
Of course. But
my time.
How do you stop that from happening? That's what he was saying. That's why.
But I don't think you can.
Because I was talking to him about Future Retro.
Yes.
And he was saying that's why he started Future Retro, because he wants to create his own thing that he can continue and not have to rely on being part of a scene that other people are in control of. So yeah, I mean, part of the issue is ownership as well, and
that's very wise.
It's a difficult. It's also a difficult one, isn't it? You know what I mean? Like, I think with all of these issues, I think the unifying thing though is that people need to know history.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of people that have so many opinions. There's a lot of labels that say they support this and support that, but it's like, you don't know why you support women. You don't know why you support trans people. You don't know why you support black people.
Yeah.
Because you don't know anyone's history.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So how could you possibly tell me that you support me if you don't even know why I need support? You know the ones. So I think that.
That's so true.
You know what I mean? Because you're telling me, and it's just easy. It's easy to tell me you support me, but you don't even. If I ask you why, you couldn't give me an intelligent answer. You know what I mean? So I think knowledge of history and knowledge of what happened, I think that is the most important. Which is mad, because I'm basically saying learn history and your crowd will be more diverse. But I'm saying that if you learn history, the answers will reveal themselves.
Will reveal themselves to you potentially.
What you need to do, you know. Yeah. Because I built my brand based off of what I understand happened,
right.
Yeah, and what I think and where I feel passionate, based on what I know happened.
Yeah.
If promoters done the same thing and knew their history, they might build their brand off of what they know happened and what they think is right and what they think needs to happen.
I think at a certain level, it's only about the pound note, mate.
About
the pound note.
Yeah. I mean, there's also that as well, isn't it?
I think that goes up to a certain point where there's still a lot of integral like nights put on, and people sort of like just trying to, you know, find their way.
Yeah, no, I mean, I hear that. Don't get me wrong.
But then at the same time,
don't get me wrong. I hear that, innit?
You got.
If you do care and you do want to make change, and you're trying to figure out your place in this, or what you should do, what is right, what is wrong, what the scene needs, I think all the answers are in history. You know what I mean?
But the history of jungle, you mean?
Just the history. It's jungle's not a separate history.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I'm talking about it's all the history of this country, really. You
right.
The music has only mirrored the society. You know what I mean? And I mean there are specific things in the music, like you talk about like criminal justice acts, and you talk about when big labels started coming in, and you talk about what happened with metalheads, and you talk about like all of these things, like the split between jungle and drum and bass, even coining that term, intelligent drum and bass, these ideas.
Mate,
this is what I'm saying. Like, but people don't know this history, and without that contextualizes so much. You know what I mean?
What was mad about the intelligent drum and bass argument was that was before the internet, but yet you could still feel the anger of people.
What do you mean, anger of people? Which way?
We just felt that a lot of people in the scene were like pissed with that term because
I think it's so rude, you know.
I mean, look.
I think it's so rude. When I first heard that term, I was like, that's horrid. Have you seen that Bookham documentary? You know the Bookham documentary?
Yeah,
that one, yeah.
Yeah.
And there's a couple of the girl in the toilet.
Yes. And she's not in the toilet, she's outside, and she's saying it's intelligent, it's better, it's not like all the other stuff.
Yeah, it's not all like that raggedy. It's not like ragged jungle stuff, yeah. That's what I'm saying.
So, I mean, that was faux pas on them for allowing that to stay in the documentary, because, you know...
No, but I think that's important. It's good to see that.
It's good to see that, but you see, in the moment, they couldn't hear the undertone of what she was saying.
Yeah.
Because what I believe that woman was saying at the time is like, there's no... like black brothers at this dance, right?
That's what I'm saying.
You know what I mean? And you know that I remember that always upset me, that bit, because I remember, but then also I remember that when I used to go to Logical Progression, you know, me and Equinox used to go. We were probably like about 4, 5 black dudes in the place. Do you know what I mean?
Have you got a Rupture? Straight to the soup.
That's all right. Cool. So it was a really interesting time. There was because I don't think it was actually. I'm probably gonna get done for saying this, but I don't feel like it was actually Bookham who coined the term. I don't know what I should say. I believe it was someone else. I'll leave it at that. Who was running a distribution company. He wanted a way to distinguish it from the rest of jungle drum and bass. And so I think that moniker was applied to it without it necessarily meaning to blow up. Like, do you know what I mean? It all being used, like, sort of like on a whim. And it got used a lot, and then it sort of it pissed a lot of people off.
I don't like the racial undertones.
Because there was a point where even I was like, I don't like that term. I like atmospheric.
I don't like it at all. I like atmospheric. I don't like it at all. I don't understand. I mean,
I like atmospheric.
Of all the best music, all the best music, atmospheric. Yeah, I mean that makes more sense. You know, because you can't tell me music that was making in '92 wasn't intelligent. Now, what do you mean, like intelligent? Like,
I mean,
production house, like,
but it's
reinforced.
Yeah, but it's funny to me
because
no, but hold on, it's funny to me because you've earlier on kind of like done a similar thing in a way with you sort of said like Jump Up is less sophisticated than the underground stuff. It's not really any different because it's just it's like the fans of Good Looking at the time felt that what they were listening to was more intelligent than I mean, my former and this is quite well known, but my former employees, coined the term drum and bass to describe what we would call traditional jungle.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Ooh.
So it's like.
Yeah, I mean they could, but that's what I'm saying. I could never prove that it's sophisticated, but I think musically,
yes,
you know what I mean.
I understand
but don't get me wrong. Yeah, I'm not separate. I'm not better than these people in that Like my opinion on that might also be based on history. You know,
Yeah, it
because
could be.
I'm as I've learned, I've become sore about certain things.
But by saying something's less sophisticated, I'm not trying to throw it under a bus here. I'm not saying you said this, but I'm saying, but yeah, you could say by saying something's less sophisticated, it would denote that the fans maybe were as well. And I think that was the problem with intelligent drum and bass. The term made it seem like the fans of the other stuff weren't intelligent, and that's what was so insulting.
Yeah.
So you know,
I mean, I could be. Did I say that?
No, you didn't say it. You didn't say that.
I mean, I definitely did allude to it. I mean, I said that it was a gateway drug for them to get into, and I said that you graduate.
No, but that's what I'm saying. I don't think the intelligence. I think I mean, it could be taken the wrong way, but obviously you don't mean that. Obviously I know you don't mean that. You're talking about the music side. That's what I'm saying. But
I think it's better music.
But this is what you were talking about earlier on with coining terms and the words we use and definitions. It's like it's all pointless in a way because to one person you say one thing without like the person that made up the term intelligent drum and bass wasn't making it up to offend anyone.
Yeah.
He wasn't.
Yeah.
I can almost guarantee that.
Yeah. But
once there was the grievance raised. My understanding that there was like it is more people that were fans of it. So I shouldn't say this particular individual was saying that. Yeah. I was saying people that were fans of this stuff. Well, it is more intelligent. You know what I mean? Like, as far as they're concerned.
Yeah, but I just didn't like for example in that documentary.
That particular comment, was problematic.
It was racial. It was racial.
Yeah,
I suppose. You know what I mean? What the guys said outside and stuff, and talking about the pads and the bass lines and all that.
Yeah,
it's.
But the first couple of people were just talking about the music, right?
Yeah, but I mean,
she talked about
the
Black Brothers basically. So maybe she just had enough of Black Brothers trying to check her, and she's like, "I'm gonna dance so funny.
Now." I can't lie. That's one of the. You said that it's a mistake for them to put that in. Yeah, I think that's the best.
No.
That's the best clip from the whole.
No, the best clip is ironing. This is ironing. It's like, how are you going to shout at someone in another country, like when there's no Google Translate? Then there's no nothing. You're just going to scream at someone.
Just struggling.
Bro, man.
Have you seen that new People Just Do Nothing film?
No.
They go to Japan.
No.
I'm almost certain that it's based on that documentary.
Really?
I'm almost certain that they must have watched it because it's it's in the tone of it and everything.
I've seen the scene. There's a scene in the room when they're with the Japanese executives, and there's a similar scene in the bloody...
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Shit,
when I was watching it, I was like, they've definitely watched because there's. People Just Do Nothing is based off a documentary called Tower Block Dreams.
Yeah.
And so I feel like it's based. I feel like they've definitely seen it. You know what I mean?
Right. Okay. I mean, I did enjoy People Just Do Nothing. I've watched the first series, I think, but it sort of got a bit samey for me. But I do. But have you seen him on? Is it Radio 1? He did like in a booth. Yeah. They're
hilarious.
But he can actually rhyme. I thought he did.
But all of them guys, if you go on YouTube, you can find videos of them well before they started off in UK rapping it.
Right.
Yeah, like UK hip hop.
Yeah.
All of them, even that Chickaboo G. His name as a rapper was, I think, Paradox.
Oh.
He's got a song with I can't remember what it was called. I think it's called Back in the Day or something.
Oh.
It's like he's a sick MC, you know. Like all of them. I'll show you.
MC Grando is doing his.
He's cold, you know.
His
actual, I think his name before that was Sepa D or Sepa D, and he's a sick hip hop MC, garage, grime. Yeah, they're cold. Them guys are so sick.
Fair enough. I didn't watch the first. I've watched the first season when His mum, the grandmother died, the skinny one.
Apparently he writes the show, you know.
Yeah, he's the writer. Yeah.
I think them guys are proper clever, man.
Yeah, man, they've created their own.
I see Chickaboo G once in Dalston.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, I see Grinder as well. I got a picture with him. But I see Chickaboo G in Dalston. I was walking down the street. I see him in a smoking area, and he just looked at me like, "Don't."
Oh, right, okay,
yeah. Because he must get it from people. So I just walked past him. I just caught his eye. Yeah. I didn't even break stride. I just caught his eye, and he just looked at me like, "Please don't."
It's like when I met Posthumous from De La Soul.
Okay.
And I was around the back. I was so drunk. I was playing at a wireless festival. a friend of mine, Digby, from Mixed Mag, shout out Diggs. He got me hooked up with to play on the Smirnoff stage. I was playing like with Oxide Neutrino, Groove Rider Fabio, Man X, and Oxide Neutrino, and Luck and Neat.
Okay.
And me, like on those, it was like, what the fuck?
That's funny.
I had such a great time. It was so funny.
Yeah.
And then there was loads of free vodka and champagne in the thing, and like, you know, I'm not used to all that, but also, you know, when you in that situation, it was like Spirited Away, you know, like when they come out and there's all the food on the table. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's like, it was like me and Helen just went mad. Yeah. I was so drunk. Yeah. I was playing pissed. I was pissed. It's like one of the only times that and Poland were the only two times I was like really drunk when I was playing. Yeah. And but I actually managed to play a set amazingly somehow. And then I'm just walking around and I've got all access to all the stages, right? And so you go into like the VIP area and I'm just walking towards this guy and I'm looking at him and it's like, that's posthumous for fucking Della Summer. And I was just like, and I just went like this. So like this to him. And he just stopped and I was like, I'm really sorry. Can I get a picture with you? I was so drunk I couldn't even speak. It was so embarrassing. And then Helen was just like making excuses for me. It's like, oh, I'm really sorry, he's really drunk. I'm really sorry, he's DJ. She was sort of like kindly explaining to him like she was my personal assistant, which she wasn't. But like, you know, he's DJ, he's playing on the other stage, he's got a bit drunk. You know, can you just take a picture of him? So you know what I mean? He was absolutely cool. And it's still one of my best moments, but I couldn't even speak.
Yeah, it's funny how people make you tongue-tied like that.
I couldn't even speak. I just sort of when he went to go, I just went, I can't even say anything. I'm so thank you. That's all I could say. All I could say. Yeah. Because it was just too much. It was just like, I wish I wasn't so drunk. It's so annoying.
It happens though. It happens.
I mean, I haven't drank properly. I mean, this beer I've had in this just now earlier on. It's the first I've had. I mean, I drink from time to time, but since I moved in here with Dave, because he don't drink, Rick don't drink, I just don't drink anymore.
Oh yeah, fair enough.
I've cut one of that, but you won't see me roll. Oh, you passed the lemonade. Sorry.
What's that?
Lemonade, yeah. You won't.
I don't think it's not healthy to drink, like not socially. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, there's been a couple of times. I remember.
I mean, people go through phases, you know.
Yeah.
Ones, like,
I mean, there was that time at the Shepherd's Empire. We got pretty mashed up then. And then Bo Thomas, it was your fault. I'm gonna blame Bo. Because it wasn't really, he didn't notice before. He insisted to buy me a pint, and I'd already been drinking with one of Marlon's mates. And I had about 3 or 4 vodka and lemonades. Get to the club, Bo insisted I have a couple of pints with him, and that's what. And I'm not a big drinker, so 5-6 drinks, I'm fucked. And then I had a club pizza, which is just disgusting. and then Marlon bought me a vodka and Red Bull. And then that's what just like, then I had the bubbles and I went upstairs and I was just hurling in the circle and then I just hear, that's all I hear. That's all I hear. I can't see, I'm not looking anywhere. I just hear Marlon laughing his fucking head off at me, cunt. And then, you know, he could just pick me up and just like help me out. He did eventually pick me up and help me out. Cedar and ASC were there. Cedar, who's the artist on Good Looking Records. This guy from like a little jockey, like a little tiny guy. And he was tiny. Like, John, am I lying? You're like 5'4", 5'5". Like, I'm not saying things ain't true. Just you know what I mean. And then ASC was there as well because they'd come down because they were playing, I think. And so like they dragged me.
ASC tracks.
Huh?
I like ASC.
ASC's a bad man. He's a bad man. He's a bad man. He's a bad man. Straight up bad man. Like I've known him over 20 years. And he's never stopped being a bad man. Basically, everything he's written, pretty much everything he writes is fucking amazing. But yeah, they dragged me into the St John's ambulance, and I was just like hurling up in there for a while, and then I could hear all the music playing. I couldn't focus on anything. It's a nightmare. Shepherd's Empire.
I'm an empathise with that. I'm a mad lightweight. I don't really drink. I'm a mad lightweight, to be honest. If I have 3 pints, I'm like,
And dark spirits, no. Don't fuck with dark spirits. Like, I end up saying racist and things and being horrible and just being an absolute dick when I drink. So I don't drink any brandies or whiskey. Or I do. I'll have a couple. Like I'll have one, like nice expensive whiskey or 2, but never 3. Because it's not even the 3rd one. Or brandy and coke, or what's the other one? Jack Daniels. Yeah. If I have like If I have 2 Jack Daniels, I'm fine. If I have 3, no.
Yeah.
Because if I have 3,
I don't touch none of that.
yeah. Because if I have 3, I have 4.
I don't touch none of that. I just have rum. I'm just straight rum.
Yeah, Ray and Nephew, vodka, and tequila.
Yeah, Ray and Nephew's dangerous. Man.
I love Ray and Nephew, but I get drunk on it and I'm like a dickhead. I'm happy.
Ray and Nephew's like pills to me.
Yeah, it's almost like hallucinogenic.
Like,
yeah.
Up, like.
Yeah, you get. So I was talking about absinthe the other night, and I had a night on absinthe, which is amazing, and nothing else. Yeah, man. Like it gets hallucinogenic.
That's fire in your belly.
Yeah, it's fun. It leaves a mark. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like, it's not. But these are all past shenanigans. You know what I mean? It's not. I don't really drink like that. You know. I mean, I remember I drank half a bottle of Famous Grouse to impress these girls, like when I was 15.
Yeah.
It was like Crofton Park. It was long, just by Crofton Park train station, and again there was David and Wayne, and then there was 2 girls that David might have met. I don't know, because he was a handsome one, so he was always the one that met the girls. And then I'd stolen a bottle of Famous Grouse from my mum and dad's drinks cabinet, and they sort of stuck out with it. And then I stood in front of them, and they went like I drank like half a bottle, and I was absolutely folded.
Yeah,
and then.
Went
home, vomited in my bed,
and
then my mum sort of come work out the next morning, saw the mess. She never really made any fuss about it, because you could tell that I'd, done something terrible. And that was an embarrassing day. I was hungover all day. I couldn't get out of bed.
I didn't start drinking till very late.
Yeah, I didn't. That was good actually. That happened to me because that stopped me from drinking.
Oh, so then.
I didn't really drink until I was like 27, 28.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, after that.
Yeah, I didn't really drink until I was like, I don't know, 22, 23, something like that. Maybe that's a lie. Maybe before that. Maybe I was 20.
Because where did you come from? Round here, right? You come from Hackney, like.
I grew up between Walthamstow and Barking.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, so like, my family, big extended family, and that Asian family, innit? So it's like all my mum's brothers and sisters. There's times when my mum's one of 6.
Yeah.
There's been times when I've lived with all of them at one point. You know, them ones like it's like the family home. Like my grandma's house that's been the base, innit? You know? And so, I'm from around East London, innit?
So where
almost my whole life in East.
So I'm doing I'm doing the gammon thing. So where's your mum from?
My mum was.
Where are you really from?
My mum was born here.
Right, okay.
Her parents came from Pakistan.
Right.
In like the 60s, 70s.
Yeah.
My dad was born in Nigeria.
Right.
Yeah, my dad was born in
okay, yeah, that's the end of that sentence. Yeah.
To study, innit? Like,
yeah.
And then my mum and dad met here.
Right, yeah.
I don't really know too much. They split up when I was young. Innit?
Right, yeah.
I don't know the story too well, but
yeah,
no,
that's cool.
Yeah, so I spent most of my life in East. I've done other places in London, like here and there. Like, at one point, I was living around the corner from here.
Yeah.
A little bit of time in South West. Obviously now in Bristol, innit?
And you're now in Bristol. What's that like? How's that been treating you?
Bristol I like it. I couldn't move back to London, I don't think.
Oh?
No. Unless I was on big money, man. That kind of goes without saying. Yeah, that's one benefit. That's a big benefit, cost of living. The other one is that travel, parking, just life is just long and stressful in London. You know what I mean? Like even for me to get here, I came from Croydon. It took me like over an hour. Yeah.
Oh, okay, because you come on.
I have to get to West Croydon station, and from West Croydon and get on the train and then walk from there. And it's like in Bristol. Yeah. I would have just jumped in my car. It would take me 15 minutes to get across the city, and I was parked it outside, and then we would have been here. And then when it's ready for me to go,
where's this place you can park outside? Because the one time I drove to Bristol, we couldn't find any.
You can only park. The only place you can't park in Bristol is like the middle.
Yeah, but that's where we were, and it was a pain.
But as in, like, that's what I'm saying. For general life.
Yeah.
Going to friends' houses and stuff like that. I mean, at night you can park in the middle of Bristol in like certain places. If you know where to go, if you know where to go, because if you know where to go, it depends on exactly what area you're in. But the thing is, Bristol's quite small, innit? So you can park on one side of the centre and easily walk to the other.
Well, that's what I think we ended up doing. I think we went to like this road. I think Mo Tahar, don't you know? he gave us advice on where to park, and then we sort of went there, parked it, and then sort of went.
Yeah. So,
but it was annoying though, because it's like, anyway.
If I'm gonna go and see friends and that, life is just a lot more simpler, innit? Because I don't have to leave my house 2 hours before I'm getting somewhere. Just, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The pace of life is just so much slower.
Yeah.
And I'm enjoying that. I don't live in the centre of Bristol as well, innit? I live on the edge of Bristol, so that's nice as well. Because it's like, I mean, I live in the city, but it's more chill,
right?
And I'm not in the middle of the madness of Bristol, because Bristol can be a madness.
It certainly can be.
And like, you know, so I've got my own space where I work on Tuesdays and I stay focused on my stuff. When I want to go into the centre and do my madness, then I do that. But then I retreat back.
Stop calling it madness.
You know what I mean? Hey, well, that's what. Madness is chaos, isn't it?
I do my madness.
Yeah, that's what raving is. It's just chaos, isn't it? Control chaos.
You know what? Yeah, I suppose there is an element of control chaos to raving. I mean, it's always been that way to me. But it's funny because you talk about Distant Planet earlier on. It's like they always reminded me of like what, you know, they're not a squat. You know,
yeah, got squat energy though.
But they got the squat energy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like the ethos is there.
That's why I love Simon Louise.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah,
special, you have to be special people to be able to build that in a legal club.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Because everything does not feel sterile at all. But then it doesn't feel like you've have to deal with any of the stress of what going to free parties is. Which I mean, like, bro, free parties can be.
Free parties are fun though.
Bro, free parties can be either the best or the worst night.
Yeah, because the thing is that there's always impending danger.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, but with that,
but that's where the fun
you
goes.
risk. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. You risk that danger for possibly one of the best nights of your life, innit? So
this one on Brixton Hill, I saw someone get stabbed. I've never seen people get stabbed. It's the only time I ever saw someone get stabbed, but it was like everyone was outside in the garden, and then there was just like a small altercation, and then someone just stabbed another person like a couple of times.
Yeah, that's a man.
I mean, it wasn't a bad stabbing; it was just like sort of arm and leg sort of thing. But it was like, you know, they got pulled off and dragged away.
Yeah.
But it was just like, Jesus, that just came out. I mean, it was just out of nowhere. But I was happy to look at the crowd of people because it started to escalate. I'm looking at him and I was like, oh, I think he's gonna punch him, and he was like, he pulled outside and just went like that. And
that's a madness.
Oh, God.
Yeah, that's nuts. That's nuts.
It's crazy.
That's nuts. But yeah, free parties obviously you can be dangerous, but you risk it for possibly like one of the best parties you've ever been to, innit? Like I went to one in Hackney Wick. Like we threw one in Hackney Wick.
Yeah.
That was, I can't lie, that was the best night of my life.
Oh yeah, I remember you told me about that.
That was the best night of my life.
Yeah.
That was the best night of my life. And I was obviously very stressed beforehand. Like I woke up that morning like I'll probably get arrested, to be honest. Like, but it all ended up being blessed, and it was sick. Like
it's probably because you just picked a good moment to do it. A lot of the time it's just luck of the draw.
Yeah, it was just like we was definitely very, very, very lucky.
Yeah, a lot of the time.
And we didn't promote it as well.
Yeah,
that was the main
I think
thing.
that's the main
We literally
thing.
just opened the doors and started playing music, and people just walked in.
Yeah.
I mean, I invited certain people.
Yeah.
We sent out invites, but it was strictly I said people.
Yeah, I got the invite. I
I
remember I got the invite.
Yeah. So then.
But there was something else on that night, wasn't there?
I'm not sure.
Because that I do specifically remember that. I think there was something. Funnily enough, I think it was at the Cause that I was playing at that night.
Oh, see.
Yeah, I do remember there was something I was playing at that night. I can't remember what it was though, but it was something else I was doing.
Sick Note came and played.
Yes, yeah, I saw all the footage.
It was
sick. I remember.
It was sick as well because like I.
Because it was Sick Note.
I had this idea to basically, because I like raves, the whole holistic experience of the rave, like all of it, like the lasers and everything, I think makes a big difference, you know what I mean? Not just the crowd and the music, So like I put up this, I actually basically stole the idea from Distant Planet, and what's his name, Andy, that does the lasers there. But basically what I did was put up a mosquito net, like on top of the DJ booth, like across the room. Yeah. And then on the other side of the room, I put projector on the mosquito net, and then I found loads of like videos that were like, you know, like black background lightning, or like black background with like funny shapes and that flying around, or dancers with glow sticks on and stuff like that. Yeah. And then when you turn the light off, you just had the image floating. Wow. So like, imagine, so we done the party, and then a year later, I was at another house party somewhere. Someone was telling me I was asking him what parties you've been to recently. He was like, I went to this sick one in Hackney last year. Like, it was nuts. Like, they had some hologram thing, and I was like, bro, that was mine. That was our thing, yeah. And then he was like, yeah, I've got video. He showed me a video of Sick Note playing on the decks. Yeah. He was smashing it. Yeah, the crowd, the room was packed as well, and there's like lightning in the middle of the room, just like striking down. Yeah, like that. When I think back to that night, that was by far the best thing I've ever done. Like.
It's a good one. Well, you could probably try and emulate something like that. I mean, you could just do sort of like a guest it's only event or something like that, probably.
Yeah, I just need capital, man.
Yeah.
I just need capital right now. That's why I moved to Bristol, though, innit? I went back to the uni.
So what are you studying there?
Data science.
Data science? To do what?
Data science, like statistics. Yeah, like I'm like interested in maths, but then it's an emerging field, isn't it? It's like
I don't know anything about it. What's
data is the biggest companies in the world are now like it's the most valuable commodity in the world. Data, yeah.
Yeah, I saw like the social network and all that sort of stuff.
Say for example, like you had, I don't know, you're a company who's selling a product. You've got all the receipt information for all your customers. You might want to find out, and this might be millions and millions of lines of data. You can't possibly read it. Yeah. So it's like data science basically is like the stats that you use to find out things from that data, innit? Like what people, like maybe a certain product is more popular in a certain place. Right. Maybe, I don't know, like certain type of person is buying a certain product. Or I don't know, whatever.
People tend to buy this, also buy these and these.
Yeah, things like that. Like things like Amazon recommendations are everyone that bought this product bought this one. It's like it's the algorithms that produce that result. That's basically what a data scientist does. Yeah. I mean, they do more than that, but like that's the focus. Like that's the end result. Is pretty much like. I mean, there's other things as well that they do. Drug discovery, using engineering. Like it's a big field. It's an emerging field now, isn't it? As well, because people are starting to clock on. A lot of companies, medium-sized companies, are starting to clock on that. Well, we've actually got bare customer data, and we want to do stuff with it. So then they employ data scientists, data engineers to like do stuff with the data, move it into a form where they can use it, transform this into something that is useful for us, and then I don't know, use it to make business decisions. So, basically, yeah. So you've always been a maths buff then? Has it been that thing? Yeah, I would say. Before I studied, so when me and Margaret met, we was both studying engineering, innit? So that's like mostly a maths course. Oh, okay. So yeah, I grew up. I was like very studious. I was nerdy. My family very strict, in the Pakistani family. Right, yeah, they were very strict when it come to like studying and that. Yeah. I was like considered smart at school and at home. Obviously that at home, if your school's calling you smart, it's like people at home are like, you need to study more. Like, this is your thing. Yeah. So yeah, I just always been very studious, and then I really liked physics and maths. Done the engineering thing, but then I didn't like that. The lifestyle, engineered lifestyle, the job, it didn't really interest me that much more than. Doesn't it depend on what type of engineering you're doing now? Yeah, it depends, but as in like just sitting in an office in front of a computer reading numbers. This is not really. What, engineer? Yeah. I mean, for the most part, I mean, there's other. I was never a practical person as well, so I wasn't like a technician engineer. My housemate, he worked for like Cosworth, building engines, like physically building engines. And designing his own, printing his own, or CNC and milling his own parts and making new engines and stuff. But he's he can, if you gave him an engine, he could take it apart. Right. I was never that person. Right. I was like a theoretical engineer. Yeah. So I just wasn't interested in that work. How can you? Oh yeah. So when you say theoretical engineer, I'm genuinely asking because I didn't know it existed. So, what is that? Basically. So like for example. Like someone who just like creates specifications, does drawings, interprets lab results, runs experiments. Like I did aerospace engineering, so like I could have gone into something like aerodynamics, doing things in a wind tunnel, interpreting those results. Then like things like, I mean, that's the sexy side of it. That's and even that I don't think I'm really that interested in, like. You know what I mean? Like that's like design sort of work. And that's like considered, I guess the sexy side of it. Yeah, a lot of people just work in things like, I don't know, compliance, like checking things over and things like that. I'm not really interested in that. So I did the data science thing because, ideally, fam, I'm trying to. One, it's a very well paid industry. I mean, engineering is also very well paid, but not anywhere near data science. Like data science people were walking out of uni onto like 45 bags, and so I don't like working.
So that's 45,000 to anyone in the United States. Sorry, 45 bags, 45 bags a year.
And I don't like working, fam. I'm trying to work like. Ideally, my ideal work schedule would be like 2-3 days a week, innit? So I'm trying to earn as much money as I can in as little time, so I can focus on making this film music thing. This vision, bringing this vision to life.
If you make 45 bags, you do your own film, mate.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I mean, we'll see. I'm like talking to people about collaborating and stuff. Like I've been procrastinating. I mean, I don't think I can force it at any time. Yeah, it has to come naturally. Like you know what I mean. But I made the intention that so I'm hoping that when I'm ready for the opportunity, when the opportunity is there, then I'll take it. But I've already been speaking to people about collaborating with stuff on film. But right now, that's not really my program. Right now, I'm producing music to release for dances,
for the dance floor,
streaming or whatever, label releases and dances.
But there might be an opportunity there, because if you do you have an interest in making film?
Not making film.
No, right, okay. Yeah.
I mean, I like collaborating. Me and Margaret, we've done a couple music videos and that. We've got another one coming out, but this is like one that we've done with a friend of ours. But I gave him the song and I was like, "This you're the filmmaker." It's like I'm not a visual artist at all. As well. I don't really have an eye for visual arts in it. Yeah,
but sometimes filmmakers don't know. They just know how to film stuff, and they don't necessarily know how to create a narrative per se.
Yeah, I might. Yeah, I mean, this. I when it comes to that sort of thing, I'm looking forward to collaborating with more people. But I wouldn't say that I don't really have vision for movies, for film and that. You know what I mean? I've got a vision for sound though. You know what I mean? Like I definitely connect with.
But do you think do you think you can make music for film without seeing a film, or would you need to see a movie first before?
Like if someone gave me a film, I reckon I could score it. Yeah. I mean, I'd have to learn the technical side of doing that, but I mean that's part of it, innit? You know what I mean? I mean, I've done a little bit of experimentation. Scoring stuff in Ableton is not that difficult because you can just drag video into the timeline.
Yeah, you can actually. I always forget about that.
Then you can just make your track on top of it.
So you're talking about like really sort of like building a track around like what you see on the screen, like, you know, like.
Yeah. I'd love to do more of that.
I'll tell you what, actually, there's a film called It Follows.
Yeah, I've heard about that.
And the soundtrack is done by, is it Trent Reznor? Trent Reznor, I think his name is. I think I got his name right. From a band called 9 Inch Nails. Sorry if I fuck this up. I'll probably have to Google just double check. But I'm pretty certain it is him. But that soundtrack is so minimal and stark and absolutely lends itself to the horror of the movie. It's like a horror movie. Yeah. And it absolutely lends itself to the horror movie. It's a really good example of like how film music is really important. You know what I mean? It can be done. But in the same vein, I love how, you know, Quentin Tarantino, for example, over the years have used, you know, tracks from the past. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Also, that's valid as well. I like there's certain films that just that like Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. For me, the soundtrack on that I think is wicked.
It's a great soundtrack. Yeah.
And it's like I like this. That's one thing that drew me to Jungle. Because I feel like a lot of the music is the mood is weird.
Right.
Yeah, the mood is weird. I like songs that, or like it's similar to cinema soundtracks. Like the moods are complex. Like there's a lot of R&B tracks that are like, I love you so much, and I love you more than this and more than that, and But I feel like with cinema music, it can be like, I love you, but I hate that I love you.
Yeah.
And I don't know how to, and that can come through in the song, innit? Like, that's quite a complex feeling. Like there's a track called
I Fucking Hate You by Tyler the Creator. Have you heard that?
No.
Oh, it's brilliant. IFHY.
Oh, okay.
It's brilliant. It's a great breakup song. Because he's basically talking about how much he hates her, but it's like, oh, please come back. And it's like, fuck you, hate you.
Yeah.
I'm going to turn up at your new date and fuck up your evening. It's allowing me to sit about it. It's so great.
Like, there's a track by Double O called, I think it's called Soul Warrior.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, and like that's just one example that comes to my mind. Nice. Yeah, that's quite, it's like dissonant, not musically, but in its moods. That it's like a mesh of two different feelings. That I really, that's complex for me. Like,
Right, yeah,
you know
yeah.
what I mean? Like that's where I'm interested. That's what I'm really interested in or making, and I think somewhat that might come through in my music. Like with certain tracks, definitely.
Yeah, my emotion comes through my music like a lot.
Yeah, but that's the sound that I really fuck with. Like.
What Double O?
Yeah, Double O is definitely one of my favourite.
Yeah,
there's certain people that.
It's fantastic juice.
Yeah, Double O is definitely one of my big influences.
Got ya, cool.
Other people would be like Profane.
Yeah.
Earl Grey is probably one of the biggest. Threshold.
Always.
Breakage is my favourite.
Even though you hate
Breakage is my favourite. No, I could never. But yeah, Breakage is my favourite producer.
Yeah.
Breakage is my favourite producer. Your music.
Oh,
I've been getting you today.
You have, thank you. That was very nice of you to say.
Yeah, there's loads of artists. There's Dub One. Like, some people are just making.
So
they're like, they're not. I don't even feel like their songs. Like they're just like. It's just the weight of the sound, you know what I mean? Like the enormity of the sound for me. Yeah. For some people, like Dub One is like, wow, that is a big. Yeah. That's a big statement, you know what I mean?
Because you were mentioning like Coco Bryce and all those sorts of guys before, like it's like as well all that sort of new school, Sully and Tim Reaper and I've got to shout out Dead Man's Chest though.
Yeah.
For Western Law because they've been, especially with the design. I mean, it's just. So every time he brings out a release, I'm like, fucking cunt.
Yeah. He does the drawings himself as well.
Yeah, it's all him, man. And he's so annoying because he's a good looking guy. He's like a snowboarder. Do you know what I mean? It's like, oh, fuck off. He can do everything. He makes amazing tunes. He does the artwork for his label. He snowboards. He's got a beard and all that stuff. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, he's nailed his branding.
He's nailed it absolutely beautifully. Do you know what I mean? I always pay respects to him because I love it when a label takes time to do stuff like that because it's something I've tried to do sort of over the years with Inperspective and Pinecone Moonshine's another one. Nick TVG is an absolute G. I've talked about him on this channel before. I've absolutely I might not have done. I might have just talked about him loads in person, but he's another one where the design, because he does a lot of design on his. I think he does him and his wife. I think do all the design on their label as well. But they do it from their own pieces. They make these pieces and take photography of them and use them.
It's
lovely, mate. It's really
I like all of that.
Yeah, it's important. I mean, like.
Especially with physical releases and that. I never collected
the
vinyl
Beats
before.
thing, the comic thing was really good as well.
I never collected vinyl before I was into rave music. I never collected vinyl, but now I'm like addicted to it because you get so much with it. Not only you connected to the artist more directly. But people have made they're making really nice pieces, you know what I mean?
Absolutely. I think
there's a lot of value in that.
I think so too, and I'll always, we've got Clash Mouth. I'm always going to be, sort of like fighting for vinyl, and my good friend Dex, who obviously runs Planet Wax, and it's become. I would accept that it's probably become closer to merch now. Vinyl.
Yeah.
I'm prepared to accept that, but I think people still want a piece of the artist, and I think that's a way that a fan can, like you say, connect with an artist. Is through. Well, you said connect with vinyl, didn't you? You meant, but I think it's a way an artist can connect with their fans through a piece of vinyl. I mean, even sort of commercial artists like who's the what's her name? The weird girl with the dummy. Fuck. Forgot her name. She's really famous, like skinny, like singer. Very. Damn it! Her name just popped out of my bloody head.
Is it?
I can't believe her name just popped out of my head. She's so famous. Anyway, it doesn't matter. It'll come back to me. Her name, not Taylor Swift, but she's more like she's like a quirkier version of Taylor Swift.
No idea.
Fuck. What is her name? Anyway, doesn't matter. I have to Google this afterwards and put a name in the. She had a name called Dummy, not Dummy or something. Or
Dummy.
Not Dummy. It doesn't matter.
Is it pop? It's pop.
Pop.
Okay. I don't know. No idea.
Oh, it's gonna drive me up the wall. Anyway, she sold a fuck ton of vinyl basically because her fans just wanted to connect with her, and they brought out a vinyl release for some reason. I don't know why. Whether it's her influences from an older parent or older sibling. I don't know why she was selling to vinyl, but she's like, she's like young kid. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It sold like 35,000.
It's definitely more merch thing now.
Yeah, it's more of a merch.
I think merch is important as well.
100%.
I think all of that is important.
Connects you. I mean, you see, you got your Future Retro representing. Shout out to Tim Reaper and Dward and all the crew down there.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah, this is it.
I
I said him about it. He didn't like any of my tunes, Tim. So it's fine.
You like one of mine, don't you?
Yeah, you like yours. That's alright. That's lovely. That's great. Yeah, he does. No,
I had to send him loads. So
I can't make 97 stuff. Sorry, Tim. Can't do it. No, I'm joking. Obviously, I'll send you more stuff, mate. I mean, I'm a big fan of his. Obviously, that Future Retro Nights I was doing very, very well. Peckham Audio, I'm very pleased.
Yeah, the night is sick. The night
is going
there.
Have you been? You know what? Every time he does it, every time I've had Jake.
Oh, that's fair enough.
It's so annoying. So like, and it's sort of always been because the thing is, it's always on the Fridays. He's on a Friday night, isn't it? Was it on a Saturday night?
I think so.
Yeah, because that's because if it's a Saturday night event, even if I've got Jake, because you know the situation here, someone's here to look after him.
Yeah.
And Saturday night's always better, but the Friday night one is when I'm coming back with him from Hertfordshire, and then it's like
it's
just too crazy. I can't then go out after just getting back with him. You know?
No, of course.
No,
it's,
I can't do it. So.
But yeah, those nights.
They're brilliant.
They bang.
They're brilliant.
They bang. It's good as well because they got a young crowd. I mean, that's one thing I like with Tim is that he has managed to rise to this level where younger people are really vibing with him. Yeah,
good.
Like he can draw a young crowd.
Yeah,
and I feel like he's now sharing that with people who can't draw a young crowd.
Yeah.
So that is good because now I've seen like.
That's why
some people I've seen some. I was like when I went to Future Retro, I was chatting to a few people younger than me. They was talking about Equinox.
Yeah.
It was like most
kids your age wouldn't know.
Wouldn't know Equinox, but now they're starting to get to know, which is good. Like, which I think is wicked. Like,
that's great.
You know what I mean?
I'll always happily have that happening. That's always a good sign. You want the next generation to come through, and I think that's that's something that probably hasn't happened previously. There's not been any care of legacy moving forward, and I think my peer group are doing, because if you look at EQ50 and obviously the Black Jungle Alliance and my peer group, we're trying to sort of change those viewpoints and those perspectives and say, well, look, what are we going to do about the future? Do you know what I mean? It's all good and well talking about how much money we've got. But let's look about making sure the next lot can make a bit of money. Do you know what I mean? Like, or whatever it is, And I hope that will continue, really.
I think when it comes to like those organisations, when it comes to the scene in general, like the diversity issue, I think people can. I think in some places it's bad. Like I think some parties, some promotions, I think it's really bad. Like what they're doing, Like there was that whole thing with the thing that Chickaboo said recently.
Right.
And the way that was spoken about and stuff.
Yeah, the Chickaboo comments. See, I said this briefly on here already, but for me, I believe, and I'd love to...
I mean, I did. When I said that, I didn't mean that was the bad thing.
No.
A lot of bad things happen. That's why she's so vocal, but... let me land quickly.
Yeah, please.
I do think that there are a lot of issues. Like even as an artist, I've had to deal with a lot of like ignorant people, and I've had a lot of bad arguments with people. I've called people out and stuff. And it's been bad. Like I've seen a lot of people do really fucked up things to people, and say really fucked up things to people. But I think we've got a tendency to. I mean, I'm saying this as a man as well. Maybe catastrophize. So I have to contextualize. I'm saying this from a place of privilege. Some of these issues don't affect me, but I think that we maybe sometimes expecting people to change too quickly, such that it steers the conversation away from the issue. You know what I mean? Because I think things are changing.
I think things are changing, but I think what it is, I think sometimes we're looking at the wrong people to change. I think it's a lot. I think the change has to happen potentially with the people who are, I don't really like using the disadvantage or advantage, but do you know what I mean? Like, so that's what I want the ethos, for example, for Black Jungle Alliance to be about. It's more about saying, how great black artists are than saying how shitty white people are. Do you know what I mean? I just don't want to keep sort of like, which is why I think there was other organisations which became problematic for the people that were running it, because they were like pointing out individuals in the scene that were racist, for example.
Yeah.
You know, and so, you know, that was seen as a more negative thing, even though it was trying to do good, and in a lot of ways it really did, and I will stand by that particular organisation, and hopefully when the person that started it comes on in a few weeks' time, then we can talk about it. But with Black Jungle Alliance, we really just wanted to sort of say, look, black people are part of, you know, jungle and drum and bass culture. Black people are part of the history. Black people are part of the legacy. You know, obviously Asians and Chinese and all other groups were involved as well, but I'm not any of those groups, so I can't necessarily speak on that behalf per se.
Yeah.
But I'll always stand with 100%.
Yeah.
So as with EQ50. So I just think now these organisations are around, now people are being made aware. I think there's going to be small changes. I don't think particular labels are ever really going to change.
Yeah, no doubt.
You know, I just think that, and some labels have just been quietly getting on with it.
Yeah, I'm not at all focused on them people.
But you see, for me, that's where the industry is.
Yeah.
So they're the ones that are like painting these pictures for people to see.
Okay.
And that for me is where, so the Rupture picture is a very different thing to certain other labels' picture that gets painted out into the world.
Yeah.
And so people, for general rule, will look at those pictures and go, well, I want to go there because that looks like everyone there's the same and I feel safe in that environment. Or someone else might go, well, actually, that environment just looks like everyone's the same and I'd probably be the only different person there. So I'm going to go to this one where there's a whole bunch of people that look a little bit like me.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's for me, it's about making sure that we can, like I said earlier on, we're evangelistical about the music, we're positive about the black contribution, and that there's ways that we can try and build a level of what I would describe as nepotism amongst the groups that maybe haven't been as, you know, sort of as exposed as others. You know, Asami Sounds. I think if I hope I've said your name right, mate. He's an artist. I want to say from the Midlands somewhere. He's like Indian, I believe, and he makes. Anyway, describing it, sort of like Asian liquid. Like, I mean, literally. I mean, I hope you're not offended by me saying that, because they're all very heavily Asian influenced, and they're amazing. Like, I almost said but there, but I stopped myself. You see, it's a narrative. It goes on in all of us. I almost said but. I didn't know. I said and. And it is amazing. I always sort of like love when he puts his little reels up and the tunes that he puts in. He always uses like classic Bollywood clips and mixes them up and makes some colours and stuff to go along with it. And I just love the stamp that he's put on it. But you know, he's saying, "Well, this is me through my music." And so I think
that's got him being encouraged.
100% Cray, another one. He's from Hong Kong. Same thing.
Yeah, his music.
He's a bad man, but you can hear that part of the world on his sound, and like I really enjoy that. I really love that.
That's one thing that Threshold said to me early when I first started speaking to him. He was like, if you're gonna make music, you need to make sure that it's your sound.
Yeah, 100%.
Don't try to copy no one else's culture. You know what I mean? Because that's a big issue in it.
It's like you make your own culture, I guess, when it comes to, you know, I would never want to say I can't make an Eastern sounding or Asian sounding. You know what I mean?
No. But when I say
I feel weird sometimes.
Sometimes
I avoid that stuff.
This is.
I do avoid it.
That's why I called myself No Nation, innit?
Yeah.
Because obviously I grew up mixed race.
Yeah.
I understand the fickleness of what nationality culture actually is, in it. Because growing up, I had black people telling me I wasn't black enough, and I had Asians telling me that I was a nigger. So it was like, and then with both of those groups constantly asking me to prove my race. Oh, do you eat this food? Or do you watch this show? Or do you understand this word? And it's like, that's not. That doesn't make me who I am, or you know, those things. They're just things that you did one day. You know what I mean? And so from early, I've understood the fickleness of these ideas, race and culture. These, but realistically, in my life, I'm more culturally related to. I wouldn't tell anyone I'm anything other than I'm half Pakistani and half Nigerian. Yeah, that's what I am. and I'll always be that. But really, like culturally, I'm more related to my boy that lives in Clapton, Ethiopian guy that lives in Clapton.
Right, yeah.
He's still Ethiopian, but
Yeah.
as in like my culture, like when people ask me what my culture is, I'm
Clapton.
East London.
Yeah, East London. Yeah, exactly.
From so Clapton,
Yeah,
like
100%.
the boys that I grew up with,
Yeah.
like the people that I grew up with, the people that I dated, like that's like that's my culture, innit? My family, my upbringing, the TV shows I watch, the films I watch, the music that I like. So when I talk about putting your culture in the music, like people often get, I think they get offended when they talk about jungle being black music, because then they feel like, oh, white man what? So a white man can't listen to reggae, or, you know what I mean? And it's like, that's not what I'm trying to say. I'm just saying, if you do it, make sure it's you, because when it's not you, everyone can tell it's not you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
but that's almost bringing back to Chickaboo's point.
Yeah.
Because what I believe she saw, and like I said, I'd absolutely love it if she would be prepared to come and chat about it on here.
Yeah.
But what I believe she saw is that she kept seeing, because I know exactly, like I said, I didn't say before who I thought it was. But I think I will now. I think it was Voltage. So so what it was, I think Voltage has been doing these events with Shy FX, and I think they did like a free party in the summer just by Waterloo there, and you know, I think Voltage has been working with a number of sort of like, I mean, I need to double check on this, but he's been working with a number of you know, reggae and dub artists and stuff. You know, I've had conversations with him. Not deep, long ones, but we've been chatting a little bit on WhatsApp. Obviously, he knew the situation that I went through with, you know, my former employee, and I believe his former employee now, because I think he's now signed to Digital Soundboy, from my understanding. I could be wrong though, so please correct me if I'm wrong. So he's doing a different thing now, and I think what he wants to do, and that's where his catchphrase for the culture, you know, he's been saying a lot. Because he believes, and which was really interesting, as a member of the traveller community, where he's been marginalised and racist against and cast upon, he believes that there's not enough being done by people that look like him to try and bring back, you know, certain elements to the music. And he's right. And he's doing his tunes, and they're getting pushed out on their, you know, socials, and he's doing these free events, and then I think they're going to be doing a paid one coming up here in East London. But then all the footage from that event, when you look at it, I don't think there's a single black face in that crowd. Yeah. And then you got Voltage as a white DJ, who's you know, Shy FX is standing nearby, but there were certain scenes where you just see Voltage playing to an entirely white crowd, and then it'd be like, it was some bragger thing on the thing, and he's rewinding it and whatever, and the crowd's all going crazy. And I think, if I'm being honest, when I saw that, I kind of went,
yeah, that's growth. That's growth to me.
Yeah, it just kind of made me go a little bit. Now, that's not Voltage's fault. That's not Voltage's fault, because I don't want people to think this is an attack of Voltage from me. It certainly isn't, because I think his, from the small amount of communication I've had with him, I think, and maybe I could be wrong, but I feel as though his intention is genuine, right? But I think the problem is the avenue that he has around him and the team and everything else. They push it to certain. Oh, shall I bang my knee? Sorry, they push it to certain through certain channels. These Vice or whatever it is, you know, Dice, you know, or whatever, you know, or you know, and the groups of people that maybe you should be trying to attract aren't necessarily using those platforms. And I just feel like there could have probably been a reach out. You know, if they'd done it in East London, they could have maybe reached out to a local black charity, or you know, just something maybe where they could have
been a bit more,
you know, just
had some tact in it. You know what I mean?
Just sort of think, well, what are we doing? Who are we doing this for?
Yeah.
And so, you know, I likened it to Northern Soul a little bit,
but no,
and
I get
that upset a few more people and stuff.
I think it makes sense. I thought the point from Chickaboo, I thought was valid. I thought it was
a valid point.
Misconstrued.
It was misconstrued,
like heavily to be. And I'll tell you why
That's why it's better to say things on camera.
For two reasons, because the first being that the issue you're talking about, it's like my housemate, he's a white guy. He loves dub reggae and dub, and he bangs it. Like there's a store in Tottenham that he goes to and buys a lot of it from. And he loves it. And one day he spoke to me and he was like, I kind of feel, especially when all these conversations were happening, he was like, he kind of feels a bit at odds, and it feels a bit weird because obviously he's a white guy and he feels weird because this Jamaican music, and he said he doesn't want to be in a. He was anxious that he doesn't want to be in a place where he's misrepresenting it. Yeah.
Right.
So I said to him like, I don't think like I said to him, one, don't do your Jamaican accent.
Yeah.
So that's rule number one. And two is that I don't think he had to worry, because when it comes to music, he fucks with me, fucks with Margaret. He's got like a very diverse circle.
Yeah.
Like as in terms of gender, in terms of sexuality, in terms of race. It's like anything you do, that's going to be built into it, because it's built into who you are.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? The thing that with these raves where it's like you're playing reggae and there's no black people there, it's like I'm looking around the room, I'm like, well, you're telling me not one person in this room fucks with a black person, that they bring them to a but
that's what I'm saying. I think the problem is that it's the audience that these events are being pushed to, including events that I probably will be trying to do myself. It's like if you use certain channels, I don't think that necessarily that the people that we want to find are necessarily on certain channels. I think you need to be a bit more sort of like surgical with your PR if you want to get certain crowds in. I mean, one thing that's always fascinated me is like in the R&B community, how heavily dominated it is when you go to R&B night. You see like just pure Asians in there, right? Like it's just like what? But that doesn't seem as problematic somehow, because Asians are brown maybe, and it's like, you know what I mean? I don't know. I don't know what it is, but I understand. I feel as though I understand what, but that's why I'd really like her to come on, because. Or at least maybe do something to camera, because I really want to see her rhetoric and her thought process of why she said what she said.
The second reason
she did
why with the Chickaboo thing, why I empathise with what she was saying, is because like I went to go and see Groove Rider when this is when I first moved into Bristol. She actually put me on guest list for it. She was MCing for Daisy.
Right. Okay.
And Groove Rider was headlining. Yeah. And he came on, and it was like a student event. It was at O2. It was like a very young crowd, like 18-year-olds basically. And like, he was playing his tunes, playing like mostly like jump up stuff that I don't listen to really. It's just like kind of just standing there and just like watching. And like when the rewinds were happening, it was like this crowd's not calling for the rewind, and you rewind it, and everyone's like, "Yay!" Like, rewind, and it's like that's not a rewind, man. Everyone's just like rewind for me is like people slapping the walls, like people are climbing over the decks to.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? You've built that, and you've earned that from the crowd, and the crowd are begging for it, and that is.
I'm gonna argue that slightly.
I think that is it's gross in its like what you're trying to copy. You know what I mean?
Look, ultimately, you are right. That is what the ultimate rewind is. That is what you want as a DJ.
Yeah.
There are times though that you play a tune and you're just like, oh my god, this tune's so bad, cool. Like there are times that you're just like,
but that's not also not what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about.
You feel like he's done it in a performative way.
It's just like a performative, and the crowd is very performative, and it's just like I was looking around, I was like, this is not the vibe at all. Like, you know what I mean? Like there's no science behind it. I couldn't sit here and I couldn't explain like the social mechanism and why that happens, and I couldn't prove that to you. I couldn't prove to you why that felt weird. But I just was in the room and I was like, that's gross, to be honest. Like, it's really subtle, so it's like, how do you even really talk about that? That's why I think her comment was so easily then misconstrued by people, because it's like that is for someone who is trying to be ignorant as well. It's like you ain't even gonna get into the what's it called, the not niche, but the nuance of that conversation is quite deep.
But that's the problem this is why I wanted to do this, because when you make comments shorthand, then you can't add context. And so I can say something on here, or you can say something in this environment, and we can give context around what we're saying, and then at least then if someone watches it, we hope people do, they can understand the full argument and understand that maybe you're not a racist or anti-Semitic or whatever. That's like me getting your fuck breakage bit, like just like earlier on, and just posting that out, and then everyone's like, oh my god,
you should do that.
I'm really tempted. It's like, oh my god. And then
no, but he's legit my favourite producer though.
He's a lot of people's favourite producer, probably. And he's always kind of sort of one of mine. So because there's other producers that I love equally, if not more. But James is.
People always talk about Acid Rain remix, yeah.
I mean,
for me, it's Trance.
Trance.
Trance is the one.
No, but you see, the one that no one talks about, which is my favourite. If we're talking about all the tunes, 5 tunes thing on Inperspective, my favourite is Panic Room, because because it's what me and Marlon. I mean, I'm sure Marlon still calls it something, but we call it one string style. Yeah, it's like like the horror movie.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And so that thing that starts off, because it's funk, alligator boogaloo, isn't it? And so there's like, because people always talk about, you put loads of on your label. No, you put loads of alligator boogaloo on my label. Like, you know what I mean? There's quite a few. Yeah. Because I realised, oh shit, actually there's about 8 or 9, I think. Okay. Coming up to with Future T had one on his as well. Yeah. But anyway, that for me is the way he just made that tune so simple, and that the intensity of it is from how he changes that string in the tune, and it's really annoying because he probably didn't mix it down the best, and so the string could have been maybe like 5 or 6 dB louder, and it would have been perfect. But at the time, I just got excited, and so it just was fair. So, but I can always hear it, and I always urge people, if you listen to Panic Room, just listen to that string in the background, because he does so much to the string. He changes the way it sounds and way it moves.
You said you ain't listened to the new Breakage stuff.
I haven't, not yet. No, I need to. I will do. We could do his live reaction now.
The new stuff is because I see an interview done, I think 5 years ago with they make Luke Master. They make. Oh, Luke Master,
sorry. So I thought you said Luke Master. I was like, who's that?
Luke Master.
Luke Master, yeah.
They had this podcast that it was quite good, like quite a good few interviews they done. Yeah. The Breakage one, it's like 2 hours as well. It's sick. Right. And then he's basically saying that with Index, his label, he was trying to take breaks and make them sound futuristic. And it's like that word futuristic is going to mean different things to different people.
Yes, it is,
Some people have told me they feel like the old Breakage stuff is more futuristic.
Yeah.
But I mean,
Trance is definitely
to him, obviously. The new stuff is more futuristic.
Yeah, because obviously it's where he's sitting in his own reality.
So I like listening to it. Yeah. And understanding that from him. You know what I mean? And so to me, I'm like, do you know what? Actually, that does sound like he's got a track called Valhalla.
Valhalla, okay.
Yeah, he's got a track for Valhalla. If you hear that on the system, it's ridiculous.
I did like Rude Boy stuff. I did like that one. That was one of the newer ones, wasn't it? But like, because that was reminiscent of some of his early. I remember one time I was around his house, and he might have been about maybe 17, maybe 18 at the time. And he played me. I mean, I think it was the only time I went to his house where he used to live in Tooting. I might have been there a couple of times more, but anyway, point is, the first time he just had this busted old PC, and he is it Logic 5.1 he was still using? I can't remember what DAW he was using, but he just had tunes.
Is it
just like tunes, and they were all finished. Even though it was all rough, they would all be finished to a point. You know what I mean? Like, you know, and it was just non-stop, and he just sort of every tune there was at least you'd like at least by 70%. You know what I mean? You'd be like, oh, maybe it needs to be this, maybe it needs to be that, and some would be like 89%. You'd be like, oh, this is almost done. You know what I mean? Whatever. But there was never anything that wasn't like sort of that you didn't like more than 78%. And he was always an immense talent, and I was very fortunate to get the tunes that I got from him and the remixes and everything else. So I've always been very, very grateful to him. I'm pleased that he's sort of stayed in drum and bass, really, because he was sort of.
He's doing the dubstep thing, isn't it?
Yeah, I know he's doing other things. Yeah, he's had smashed that though, hasn't he? Is he not? Is he what? Did you say he smashed that? Sorry.
Yeah.
No, but I can imagine.
Made some of the best dubstep. Like he made some of the best. Like he done that track. They know that flipping that Together one.
See, I don't know.
New in general was hard.
Oh yeah.
That's a banger of it. That's a banger. I didn't even know who Breakage was. I knew that track though.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Everyone knew that. Like when I was growing up in East London, when grime started becoming that track, people smashed that.
He's a very prolific artist, and I mean I've never
seen him
been
for the first time like a couple of weeks ago.
Right. Okay. Cool. You see, the thing is, I was never a massive dubstep fan. So, like, you know, I've got more into it more recently. I love footwork, though. I love footwork and that sort of stuff. But I never really, like, it just always felt a bit slow to me.
I hear that.
Yeah, even though it's like 140, it kind of like, you know, that's why I like the sort of like, there's like this like whole post-dubstep kind of era where if it was a bit more footworky and a bit more faster, a little bit more. And I liked all that sort of stuff, like Sinistar and guys like that.
I've been, when it comes to, I don't really listen to a lot of dubstep, to be honest. I listen to like mostly footwork.
Nominate, he's good.
A lot of footwork I listen to.
Yeah.
Because it's faster.
Yeah.
Dubstep though, because I played Outlook, the one the UK one, just gone, and I played with the Subtle Radio crew, and they're all dubstep heads,
Right, yeah.
So I played back to back with Laloon. We played the jungle set, and then everyone else played a dubstep set for like 4 hours after us, and they started off like more what music that I recognised, like what dubstep that I've heard before and recognised, and then it started to get a bit left.
Right.
When it got left, I was like, that's really interesting.
Right.
It got like there was I can't remember none of the tracks. Like I wish I Shazam some of them because they were just drawing selection, and it was like, do you know like the way you're talking about like the tech step and all of that, and the things that people are doing like using distorted sounds like it's like you're not even making music no more. It's just like the way that you're running distortion through tracks, and the things that you're just doing with the bass, subtle things you're doing with the bass, and the way it mixes with the rhythm. It was like that. It's like that's clever, like that's so clever, like, and it's more than a beard strokey way because it's like you can shack out to that as well. It's like it's a different sort of shack out as well. You know what I mean? Like, it was just like like grimy, just like proper gun fingers. Like it was deep. Like they was drawing tunes that way. So I don't really fuck with dubstep too much. Like there's definitely certain tracks, like certain Mallow tracks, certain Scream tracks. There's like the whole Scream, that Outside the Box album. It was like when I was growing up, that was like it might be one of my favourite UK albums. Got ya. Like I do appreciate it when I hear it. When I hear good dubstep, I'm like, that fucking bangs.
But I sort of like the sort of Hessel Audio and Skull Disco, and it was like when there was like the traditional sort of like but then there was like the guys that sort of did the more, you know, they did the more sort of like syncopated. What's that one on bloody? There was a couple actually. Actually, weirdly enough, it was Adult Swim. Adult Swim, you know, like the Cartoon Network, network thing, They put out, I know it's mad, but they put out all these compilations like James Blake and all that on there. Okay. It's mad. That's how a lot of people got introduced to like James Blake and Dawood and there's a track called Acapulco and What's There by this guy called Dawood. It's amazing. And like all that sort of stuff, like the early, like Scuba when he started making early techno-y kind of sounding stuff, and you know, because this is what a lot of what Helen used to listen to. She loved all that. And like when you know, Bodika and Joy Orbison. And Joy Orbison come out with that track that was called Hype Manga, I think it was called.
I don't.
Yeah, and like Ladywell, another track called Ladywell he made, because like, you know, he had a connection with Ladywell. That stuff, that was when it was all stuff. Well, I mean, it was, dare I say, it was like intelligent dubstep. It was intelligent dubstep.
I'm gonna get cancelled.
Yeah, I'm gonna get cancelled. Yeah, that's it. I'm done. Yeah, okay, just pack up now. But no, obviously, all music is intelligent. Like, you know, I mean, that was a problematic phrase. I can see why it was problematic, but yeah, I loved all that, and that was a lot of stuff there that was like really interesting, and it sort of changed again. A lot of them to start making techno, and then which is fine by me because I fucking love techno, as you know. But you know, so like Scuba now, he's making like proper garish, you know, scary shit. So yeah, it's all good, mate. It's definitely all good. Cool. So, we got anything else to talk about?
Footwork. I've been listening to a lot of footwork lately.
Yeah.
I'm enjoying footwork. I like this artist Kush Jones. I have to Kush Jones. Kush Jones. I've been fucking with Kush Jones.
We've spoken. Yeah.
His music is he's cold.
Yeah, we spoke briefly potentially about. I don't think he was keen to. We spoke briefly. I probably shouldn't say. We spoke briefly about a couple of things. Yeah.
I see him play Bristol. Quite a small thing. It was mad though. Not many people there. It's like 30 people there.
Right. Okay.
Small, relatively small venue, but it banged. He played from like.
Is it Ninja Tune?
Is he
He's done a remix on YouTube.
Perhaps. He's got quite a lot of music out though. He does a lot of self-releases as well.
Yeah. He's one of those,
but he does from like 130 techno sort of stuff, like 4/4 stuff up to like 160 like footwork
No, I know.
Basically.
Yeah, no, we've spoken.
I fuck with footwork heavy.
Yeah, I like footwork a lot.
Heavy. Because I feel like it's just like, I mean, a lot of it is breaksy. A lot of it you could almost call jungle.
Almost. Yeah.
But even the stuff that isn't that is like just drum machines, 808 drum machines. Yeah, it's like the same sort of. It's like the same mentality that we bring to breaks.
Yeah.
To chop up breaks and do choppage with breaks, but they're doing choppage with drum machines.
Drum machines, yeah.
You know what I mean? And I love that. You know what I mean? Like the snare never lands where you want it to. But it lands in a better place. You know
I like the sort of more primal
that.
ones. There's like what's his name? When it's a bit, I like the sort of more primal, sort of tribal. Yeah, I like the sort of more tribally kind of footwork ones where it's more like, or the ones where they take like an old like R&B tune. And then they do like you know, they do like loopy kind of thing. I like them sort of ones. But some of the ones where it's just like a sort of hip hop lyric over the top, like over and over again. I don't know. Some of them just kind of leave me a bit cold. But there's some that are just amazing. Yeah,
I mean, like any genre, innit? Like,
yeah, I mean that's true.
You mess with and some of it that you don't, innit? Like, but yeah, I've enjoyed making it as well. Like, it's been fun to bring that. I mean, you've heard some of the tracks.
Yeah, man. I mean, I'm excited to hear where
it's going, innit? Like, I wouldn't call myself necessarily like, I wouldn't even, when I call my music jungle, some of it.
Yeah.
But I don't think I'm necessarily like a jungle artist. I think I'm just making music.
Right.
Whatever comes out, you know what I mean?
Okay.
Like,
see what happens.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Cool, man. I think we'll leave it there, innit?
Yeah. No, that was fun. That was a lot of fun, man. That was a lot of fun.
Appreciate it, bro.
I hope I didn't say nothing mad too much.
It's always an interesting moment. This is the moment we'll turn it off, but we'll see. Any last shouts you want to give?
Shout out to Rising Vibrations family, Hugo, Sheba Q, Danny Nice One, Lulu, big ups. Shout out to people in Bristol, you know the crew, Frank and Lou and everyone, Henry, and
that's it.
Yeah, mandem up north, all the mandems, everyone everywhere, all the mandems, all the gadems, all the non-binary dems, everyone, like, you all know who you are, like, big ups, I hope you enjoyed.
Go.